Alright, for those of you just joining us, we're about to get underway here for our Platinum Tournament this evening. NotSoStockGaming's amateur tournaments throughout the week. If you joined us last evening, just a recap, Baron for live for the victors of our gold tournament last night. We had some great games. We have a smaller pool of teams tonight, so we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to have we have 4 teams, so we're going to have just the preliminary matches to see who will advance to the finals, of course, as any bracket tournament would only allow for that. And then in the finals, we're actually going to do a best of 3 rather than just a single elimination. So we're about to get set up as far as the team brackets go for the preliminary matches, and then, as I said, the finals will be a best of 3 tonight. So you have that looking to look forward to, at least. Again, we'll get underway shortly. The brackets are just being set up at the moment, and then I'm ready to create the game here and invite players to join. It will just be a moment, and if you'll hang with us, we'll get underway shortly. Again, if you are a member of Orbit, I do have a member of Orbit. Alright, if you're just joining us again, this is our Platinum Tournament tonight. The bracket is available in Twitch chat. If you have not got it yet, I'll repost it. We have a little bit of an interesting thing going on tonight where most of the teams, at least half of the teams, that we did have set up to play this evening have either backed out or failed to check in. So we're already on to the Alright, again, if you're just joining us on the stream here, we did have some things happen where we're going to have these matches as we are beginning. We have not had any matches take place so far, but if you do check that bracket, we've had to eliminate some teams that either did not check in or were unavailable for whatever reason. And so we are already on to the semifinals, which will be single elimination best of ones, as well as we've changed it so that because we have a reduction in overall games to take place on the stream this evening, then we're actually going to have a best of 3 for the finals. So this particular game at this time between Team NotSoStockGaming and Team Orbit, this will be a best of 1 as one of the 2 matches in the brackets. As you can see, the bracket has been linked both to the members of this matchup here as well as in that Twitch chat. You can check it out. So this will be technically the semifinals, although it is our first match of the day. And whichever one of these teams goes on to the finals, again, that will be a best of 3 between whichever 2 teams from the 4 teams remaining end up in the finals. So with that being said, we're going to say go ahead and we're going to get into this match ready to go. Alright, here we are into Champion Select. We have Thresh as the first banned out by Team Orbit. First ban for purple team going to be Kha'Zix here. TSG not wanting to have to deal with that. Alright, Soraka banned out against TSG. We're going to have a ban against Orbit here being Morgana. Alright, that Master, you're going to be banned out. Alright, that last ban going to be missed here. Just not even going to ban. We're going to have that first pick Nidalee. We'll see if that's a mid lane, top lane, or even a support. All of those viable options for a Nidalee, where we do have Leona locked in as the first 2 picks for Team TrueSkillGaming. We have one more pick available for Team TSG. Looks like it's going to be locked in as that full pick for the double bot lane. It's going to be a Leona plus the Lucian in that bottom lane. Both of those great, really strong champions in the middle at the moment. We've got that Lucian who's just great all around. Not too much early, not too much late. Kind of a great all-around marksman there. And then Leona, just that great all-in potential and good synergy with a champion that has a lot of things in his kit to ignite her passive. Looks like we're picking our top laner here for Team Orbit. Might be a Singe, might be a Lee Sin. We're hovering over both these champions. Lee Sin does get locked in, but that's also kind of an ambiguous pick, much like the Nidalee here. Has a few different lanes as well as the jungle that he could go in. We'll see what they decide to do with it going forward. Jax could be intermingled into basically the same roles that a Lee Sin could be. Alright, Jax does get locked in. Jax with Ignite, unless they're trading around. It looks like Jax will be the top lane. Lee Sin could be that trade to a jungler later on. Looks like we might have that Renekton. Renekton has kind of a strong lead. Jax versus Renekton is kind of a skill matchup. The Renekton just has a lot of his kit to bully the early laning here. But if the Jax can time his stun correctly, he can interrupt a lot of the combo that could come out from the level 3 through level 9 Renekton here. Orianna also locked in for that mid lane. Looks like it's going to be the Orianna versus Nidalee matchup in the mid lane. Nidalee's going to have a rough time dealing with all of the ball movement, ball control for the zoning of that Nidalee. Plus the shield can help out with the occasional spear that might connect. But with all that zoning control for Orbit, for Orianna, I mean, using her ball, then it's going to make that things really rough in that middle lane for that Nidalee. We're going to have the duo bottom locked in for Team Orbit. We're going to have Jake Ryan on that Caitlyn, as well as the Alistar being locked in for Kazio. That's a decent lane there. Alistar kind of a counter pick to that Leona early on. You know, he can knock up as well as knock away the Leona, keeping her away and off of Caitlyn. He can also do his combo to basically provide CC and damage against the Lucian there. He has a lot in his kit to actually interrupt the culling, and it looks like Vi will be that final pick locked in as the jungler for Team TrueSkillGaming, as champions just get swapped around here for their respective roles. Again, in that bottom lane, we're going to have Caitlyn with kind of a range advantage, can kind of do a little bit of range leashing against the Lucian with the advantage she has there, but kind of the abilities and total combos for an all-in potential kind of in favor of that Lucian-Leona lane. You know, if she gets on top of that Caitlyn, then Lucian has a lot in his kit to be able to ignite her passive multiple times throughout her spell rotation using his in unison, versus when that kind of a thing would happen with an all-in from a Leona, you're going to have Caitlyn trying to back off as much as possible, and only having as much peel as the timing and the interruptions that the Alistar could provide, and then getting back to the sustain an Alistar can provide with the heals coming out. Looks like we're going to have a teleport in the top lane with that Jax pick. Teleport versus Ignite. We're going to have 3 Ignites on Team TrueSkillGaming here versus double heal and a teleport as far as quasi-offensive summoner spells go. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy matchup. Again, as we've had throughout tournaments throughout the week, it's been interesting to talk about the trade-off between taking either teleport or ignite in that top lane. Are you going to get the early kills, or are you going to have that map pressure for your team going forward? So we'll see how that plays out. Again, it's kind of a skill matchup between TSG Shaco's Renekton and iNublit's Jax here. We'll see who can come out ahead, or if it's really just going to be a noodle fight up there with neither one of them really doing anything but having that farm fest. Jungle pressure, both of these junglers not really farm heavy, definitely ones that you're going to see trying to make as many plays as possible in their allied lanes. We might see the Vi kind of stay in that jungle and just hard farm up to level 6, versus Lee Sin has really strong ganks once he has double buffs and level 3 around that 3 to 4 minute mark early on. Could be starting on blue side. He might start red and get a nice strong leash from his duo in that bottom lane, and then be able to grab a couple camps as well as his blue buff and be up top around that 3-4 minute mark with double buffs, level 3, a lot of mobility, a lot of damage, and a full combo rotation in combo with that Jax to maybe put a little bit down onto this Renekton. But again, Renekton with the ignite here, he could turn things around if Vi were in the wings. It'll be interesting to see going forward. We only have about a minute and a half left on that spectator delay here, guys. We'll get into this first match between TrueSkill Gaming and Team Orbit. Again, this is the Platinum Tournament for NotSoStockGaming's weekly tournaments. We do have a lot of slots available for next week's games. If you want to get into those, go ahead and log on to NotSoStock.ca. We have open slots available for each tier throughout the week. Again, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then any tier coming out on Friday evenings. We're excited for this Fridays. We got a great tournament. We'd love to have more. It's not too late, guys. Get your ranked teams signed up, get your ranked team ranked, and get into wherever you fit in. Sign up your teams, sign up your friends' teams, and the more we get, the better competition we have, the more games we can cast for you, as well as the more opportunity to just have excellent League of Legends play. We'd love to have you join us. So again, log on to there, follow us on this stream. We'd love to have you spectate as well. If you're not going to play the games, we'd love to have you watch them with us. Again, my name's Impossible. I'll be casting and streaming all of these games for each of the tiers throughout the week. We've completed our bronze, silver, and gold for the week. Again, tonight we are currently streaming the Platinum tournaments. Again, this is NotSoStockGaming's amateur tournaments, and in about 5 seconds we're going to load onto the Rift here, guys. This is Team TrueSkill Gaming on purple side versus Team Orbit. Team Orbit as our semi-final match on tonight's brackets. I will link that bracket in the chat, and as I said, we did have, if you're just joining us, I'll re-explain. We had some unfortunate turnout of the teams that we had signed up to play this evening. Not all of them were able to check in on time, and so some teams were disqualified, as well as some teams, were disqualified for other reasons. So we're going to actually already be into what we would call our semifinal matchup here, as you can check out that bracket. And we will actually be making the finals to make up for the loss of overall matches to stream this evening. The finals will actually be a best of 3, so you at least have that to look forward to. Again, hit that follow button, follow the stream. I'd love to have you follow my own personal stream as well here on Twitch. And in just a moment, we'll be loaded here onto the Rift for Team TrueSkill Gaming on purple side versus Team Orbit on blue. This will be a best of 1 match between these two, and the winners of this match will move on, and we'll stream alongside them. We'll move on to the finals of this evening that, once again, as I did mention, will be a best of 3. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to NotSoStockGaming's first Platinum tier tournament. This is the semi-final matchup between Team Orbit on blue side versus Team TrueSkill Gaming on purple. We're just a few seconds onto the rift here with initial buys coming out from each of these teams. I'm just going to set up these champion rosters on the scoreboard. We have Jax in the top lane against Renekton. We've got Lee Sin against Vi in the jungle. And then those bottom lane matchups are as follows. And then we've got Nidalee versus Orianna in that mid lane. We've had a little bit of a discussion regarding that Nidalee-Orianna matchup. I'm a fan of Nidalee myself. I love to play that champion a lot, as well as Orianna. Orianna, with all that ball movement, has a lot of zoning potential, which she started Command Protect here, by the way, just to make sure that they have a little bit of early vision. We do have a 5-man stack for purple team. There's vision. Nidalee going to get revealed for a second. The first autos, she used Command Attack. Wow, Zenith Blade does connect. The E-start for Leona here. Q-start for Lee Sin. The flash stun and ignite from Renekton. Another flash ignite. And the final auto with the passive damage from Orianna going to complete first blood. Both summoner spells burned from the Nidalee there, as well as both summoners from Orianna and both summoners from Renekton. 4 summoners for 2, but first blood does come out. There's a flash from the Lee Sin because Zenith Blade did connect. A little bit of damage going on down to Jake Ryan's Lee Sin. His jungle has been successfully invaded. We'll see what he decides to do for this level 1. Only 4 members remain as Renekton did recall. Command Protect and a couple autos going down onto Caitlyn here. She gets a couple autos in return. Wow, Q lands. Half the health bar disappearing and even more from Piltover Peacemaker. Orianna getting quite low and Blue pinging out. Finally recovers even with a numbers... a little bit of numbers equality here, but the early pressure, Lee Sin will get control of his own jungle. Sorry about the camera there. Lee Sin will get his first buff, and his blue jungle is also safe for him. In this early bottom lane, we have the coin for Alistar versus Targon's Brace for that Leona. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to actually consume her charges early. Normally, when you start that item, the the Relic Shield here, you want to use those first 2 charges that you have available on the first wave, killing the first 2 melee minions, as melee minions are worth more gold than casters, so that you can actually consume both of those so that your next charge, your third charge of the game, will actually be ready and available by the time the first cannon minion arrives in lane, which will of course be this next wave. She will have charges available, but actually she's been missing out on total gold she could have earned as she just consumes her charges now, also being an extreme mistake as now she won't have a charge for the cannon in this lane. Both Orianna and Nidalee getting quite low and forced to back there. Their farm numbers relatively low for being solo laners 3 minutes in. Again, no charge for that cannon creep here in the bottom lane. A lot of action here in this top lane as Lee Sin's invaded the red buff, and he did get a refresh on that with his blue still available. The ward coverage plus lane advantage doing work for them. Looks like Jax had to flash in that top lane, just using his teleport to get back into lane. 11-11 in farm. Lee Sin just farming up here. It's interesting to see a Nidalee shoving in against an Orianna. You would think that it would be the opposite, as Nidalee without Cougar form has a hard time shoving any sort of lane at all. Looks like Lee Sin has been caught out here. We'll see. Oh, unfortunate there for TSG Gomu. He doesn't actually land the knock-up from his Q there. Nidalee shoving away that Orianna. She has to walk back into lane. And down in this bottom lane, still the Caitlyn shoving up against Lucian. Farm numbers still relatively equal, with a little bit in favor of Caitlyn as she hasn't been underneath her turret. Again, let's check in that top lane. TSG Shaco with his aggressive play on this Renekton, getting him a nice early lead. Nice stun there. Goes down and he dices away after using Slice. Dices away to avoid the stun out of Blitz Jax. Shoving in quite nicely here. no ward coverage in the river. He's got to be safe, as we do have Lee Sin quite farmed up in that jungle. Wow, a couple more auto attacks could take down that Lucian, but he decides to just dash away, as well as recall to keep himself safe. He's going to unfortunately be missing out on quite a few minions here. The minion lead going to just increase dramatically in favor of that Caitlyn. A little bit of a taunt spam out of this Alistar here as he gets stunned up. Not taking a tower hit or anything, but a little bit of aggression from that Leona, just saying, I do know that you are in my lane. Looks like Renekton getting quite aggressive onto this Jax. He's away from his minions. Purple casters dealing a little bit of damage, but as they're in the rushes, they'll lose a little bit of aggro. Wow, Cole the Meek with the 50 Fury bonus, dealing a lot of damage to that Jax. Jax with no potions to sustain, just that longsword that he purchased when he had to base after blowing his flash. Renekton in dominance here in this top lane. Alright, the stun goes down, Ignite goes down from that Renekton. Just one more auto could do it. The flash to get that final auto that he should need. TSG Shaco picking up a solo kill against his lane matchup here with a cannon creep available to tank up this turret. A lot of damage could go down. Looks like Orianna gets quite low in that mid lane, as well as kind of a gank slash counter gank comes out from blue team here. Jake Ryan putting a lot of pressure around here, looking to maybe dive the turret. Gets a little bit of a heal from that Nidalee so he can return to his own jungle, taxing the lane as most junglers do. And now with a decent sized minion wave, they're going to put a little bit of damage down here onto this mid lane turret. Alistar pushed up quite a little bit here. Looks like he'll land that combo, but nice relentless pursuit from that Lucian. Dodges built over Peacemaker. A few more autos go down. Double shot hits onto it. Caitlyn, as Leona does land her Zenith Blade, and her Eclipse will ignite on top of Caitlyn, but Chaos's Lucian too low to continue that pursuit. He does have a Vamp Scepter to kind of stay relevant in this lane, but Caitlyn's range just doing work here. She's up almost double farm numbers here. TSJKS, nice double shot to get those last two minions there before they were able to die. Double shot picks up 2 of the 3 caster minions. 43 to 60 here in that bottom lane. Leona did go base to pick up her Sightstone, and as you should do as a support, once you hit those Sightstone, then you should trade off your trinket from being the warding trinket to be instead that sweeper. Looks like TSG Believe did use Command Shockwave to put a lot of damage down onto this Nidalee, but she's got pots, she's got a healing spell to make sure that she stays healthy. Couple spears have landed, forcing pots out of TSG Believe's Orianna here. Nice little bit of damage, each of them potting nicely. Looks like that 1v1 battle, Dominance just doing so much here, and the extra resistances from Jax's ultimate won't actually help him through all of that damage. Ignite not even needed as it's on cooldown for TSG Shaco. Dominance's DPS doing enough for sure. Orianna gets quite low, but Vi will come in. That was a nice bait from this Orianna. Lee Sin, though, has a lot of damage. Red buff kicks her into the turret. She will fall. That's 1 kill in favor of Lee Sin. Unfortunately, no assist for Unknown Origins Nidalee. That trade kind of just in favor of purple team here. TrueSkill Gaming getting a decent gold lead here. Just about 1,000 in their favor, regardless of the farm differences in bottom lane. That mid lane and jungle doing things for their team. Again, just about 1,000 gold lead in favor of team at TrueSkill Gaming. Caitlyn still farming up quite nicely. She and her support are the only ones who have not based. Wow, what happened there? We see Orianna having fallen in her jungle. Looks like she came over to help Vi protect her red, but unfortunately she was already low. Lee Sin now with double buffs, farming up his own jungle, while Nidalee has a wave and a half to shove in on this turret with the attack speed buff from Primal Surge. Get a lot of damage down on this turret. Can TSG Gomu actually do anything about it? As kind of a tussle in this top lane, TSG Shaco, having purchased most of the parts of the team at here, trying to stay safe underneath his turret, but Nublet has potted up to about 50% HP. He does have mana for a stun available, but TSG Shaco with a full Fury bar should be enough to keep Jax on his toes. Looks like a 3v2 dive here in the bottom lane. Nice! Sonic Wave Lightning Strike lands onto that Lucian. Kind of a headbutt that's unfortunate there as TSG Pro almost gets helped out by the cow. Will Vi use her Q to keep her safe? Wow, the kick of Dragon's Rage used by Jake Ryan to actually keep Vi in vision of his team, but not enough damage. Keep her there. Command Shockwave hits too, but not a lot of damage. Summoner Heal comes out from the Caitlyn here as a spear lands onto TSG Pro. Not enough though to deal enough damage, but enough to send them packing. Looks like blue team here, Team Orbit, might think about getting the first dragon in the game. 10 minutes, 11 minutes in here. It'll be evening up the gold. Might even be coming a favor. Blue team loses a turret though. We do have a full 1,000 gold lead. TSM going with Smite available for each of the... No, Lee Sin doesn't have it and he dies anyway. TSG Chaos with the culling coming out here. Flash from the Caitlyn and the dragon is already low. Smite comes out from Vi here and it looks like a dragon and the top lane turret go in favor of Team TrueScale Gaming. What a turn of events here. Wow. 3-7 in kills, 0-1 in turrets, 1 dragon in favor of TSG. That 1k gold lead just becomes 3 as we thought that it might actually be deleted here. Plus Orianna gets to stay in lane for a little bit to shove it in against Nidalee. Cougar Farm going to do a lot to help her actually clear things at her turret. As Orianna will just base. Leona clearing out wards in that dragon pit. Looks like Orianna is going to be able to catch a fiendish Codex for her troubles. Farm numbers in the top and mid lane in favor of TSG, believe. Caitlyn's still about 20 farm ahead of her matchup down here. BF swords and Vamp Scepters for each of them, but the boots and Dorans as kind of the lead here for the Caitlyn, plus a few pots to sustain. Kaizu on the cow, just doing a lot of zoning pressure here. Vi in top lane just for a little bit of pressure to protect TSG Shaco as he has gotten quite low. Tiamat completed, looks like a giant spell for just a little bit of overall HP and all-in potential. Missing pings as they don't have any more eyes on Renekton as he does recall. Looks like he's going to purchase that Chain Vest to get closer to that Sunfire Cape. Again, that zoning potential with Command Protect coming out from TSG, believe. Nice command to protect, sorry, not protect, command attack and dissonance. Again, that zoning pressure really strong in this mid lane. Lee Sin looping around, but they do see the ward go down as it will be on top of their own. Unknown Origins jumps on, swipe into the Q there. Not quite enough damage. Vi here with double buffs, no red on Lee Sin. Both junglers with their completed jungler items, but a brutalizer to just a longsword in favor of Vi. A little bit of aggression down here in the bottom lane. A few autos by that Caitlyn, where the turret is quite low. It might actually just fall here with all of Caitlyn's damage. Will they actually fight it? No, just a few health remaining. 86 health. A couple autos maybe from that Caitlyn as help pings come out. In this bottom lane. Looks like blue buff going to be given over to this Orianna here in the mid lane. She's quite low though. She might want to think about backing even if she does have the blue buff, because giving that straight over to the enemy team would be quite the mistake. As Renekton comes here and he has a gank available, slice and dice available, slice into the stun, dice available, call to make and ignite. The ignite ticking, probably not going to be enough to take her down. She gets away with sub 100 HP. Bottom lane turret goes down. Vi is here. She only has about 120 HP remaining. Lucian goes down to Lee Sin. Well, and Alistar, as they will dive, but the stun, wow, great safeguard to actually give himself enough of a shield to survive the last tower hit there. As Vi will go down to the chase of the Caitlyn, and 3 members here against none. Going to be a nice chase on this inner bottom lane turret. Middle lane turret did go down in favor of TSG. That Orianna shoving out against that no HP Nidalee as she had to recall off of being ignited by that Renekton. Renekton having recalled, picking up an early null magic mantle, looking to maybe complete some Mercury treads for a little bit of tenacity and magic resist, choosing to go an early tier 2 boots rather than completing that Sunfire Cape. Caitlyn sitting on a nice amount of gold here. as top lane turret does fall in favor of Team Orbit. Looks like Caitlyn will be thinking about backing here for her second purchase of the game. There's the recall coming out. Only one defender here in this mid lane, unless you count the Vi doing wraiths. Mid lane turret quite low. They might be thinking about a dive here. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike does. Nice flash, the insect move, flashing onto Act. There's the damage coming out as, wow, Nidalee gets quite greedy and goes under turret, already taking damage. She started tanking the turret because TSG believe on her Orianna ended up landing on a Nidalee trap underneath the turret, so aggro went onto that Nidalee, and just the overall combo from those two champions with the ball on TSG's gun was Vi. A lot of total damage just bursting out that Nidalee. Red buff on each of these junglers. Jake Ryan not having his Q available. Safeguard is available for him to stay safe. Will she actually get that last hit? She does, as she lands the Q for the knockup and that final auto. Red buff doing a lot to slow him down. Not a single hit having gone down on this bottom lane turret until now, but they do have about a wave and a half to put a little bit of damage down. They don't have a turret to return to, so are they safe? Might not be sure enough, as Caitlyn uses her ulti to send Vi packing in that mid lane. A couple members rotating back down to the bottom lane, I should say. Forces the run from Leona with her mobility boots and the Lucian. Kaizu thinking he might be able to get in range for a chase, but his tier 1 boots will definitely not catch up to Leona with mobility. Dragon spawning in about 20 seconds here. Again, blue has the advantage in numbers and just overall positioning, but last time they had the same but still lost it and a few lives to that of the overall team play coming out from True Skill Gaming. A lot of pings in this area. Looks like some on the way pings for blue team, looking to get a little bit of aggression onto this Orianna. Again, that mid lane turret with almost no HP. Command attack dissonance going to zone away that Caitlyn, but just so many numbers here that they'll be able to tank up that turret to kill it one way or another. Looks like they're going to get the turret and possibly the dragon, as again they do have kind of the position advantage. 4 members stacked right here. Caitlyn zoned out from her team. That's an unfortunate turn of events, as Vi going aggressive onto Lee Sin here, but she's trapped between 3. Decides to use her ult to get back to her team. The ultimate block from this Alistar. He does have Ignite ticking on him. TSG Gomu quite low. Sonic Wave has landed on her, as Alistar does go down to all 5 members of TSG. But Jax is not with his team. He does have teleport available should they need him, but he's already taken 1 turret, and pings going down from Team Orbit saying you might be able to get even an inhibitor turret. TSG trying to get the dragon. They do. No smite smite wasn't used. The last hit from that Lucian. It looks like Orbit trying to stop the backs here from TSG, but it might have been a mistake. One of them does go down. They do pick up the kill on that Vi, but Lee Sin will fall to Orianna. TSG Chaos looking for the chase on Vasily. Again, this is not the real Vasily, but just a namesake. Looks like Originals will give his life kind of unneedingly, as there was no way for them to stop the 1v1 between Jax and Renekton. Jax getting away while actually taking that turret in that top lane. Probably not an even trade in terms of map pressure and overall advantages. And I think actually that Orbit comes ahead on that one. They get 2 turrets plus one of those turrets being an inhibitor turret in that top lane. Gold practically equal because 2 turrets for a dragon and the kills kind of being equaled out there. Yeah, definitely a favorable trade for Team Orbit here. Top lane will be open for that Jax, who still has his teleport and could return up there basically at any time, or continue to split push and have teleport as the available spell to return to his team. Alright, let's look at the farm numbers across the board, guys. About 13-12 12 now farm in favor of Renekton in that top lane. He has completed Tiamat and the Sunfire Cape. Does decide to complete Sunfire Cape instead of those Mercury Treads, as we mentioned earlier on. Nice Spear lands on TSG, believe. She does not have any potions in her inventory for her to pot up. Another Spear lands and deletes the shield, and a little bit of HP to go with it. Nice Spear is coming out from Unknown Origins. She has completed that Athene's, and looks like she's going to be building that Seeker's on guard into that Zhanya's there, probably to avoid the shockwave damage. Looks like the cow gets caught out here. Will the stun come out? Not fast enough from TSG Pro. She does have Zenith Blade available. She does catch. Actually, the Vi ult knocks Kaizu out of Zenith Blade's range, and Vi has the true damage ticking from Jake Ryan. The final auto attack from Nidalee will take her out. Just an AoE here from Shockwave. Not enough damage to actually stop the chase. Renekton just huge, trying to take up people. Does take the cow with him, but he'll probably foul here. Wow, he flashes away while still being chased by 3. A lot of mobility coming out from Lee Sin, and Nidalee will be able to complete that chase. And it's an ace in favor of Orbit here. What a fight. They will be thinking about the Baron here, as the inhibitor will go down to Jax. We still got 4 seconds on that Vi, 6 seconds on Leona, 6 seconds on Lucian. Will the inhibitor go down as the Baron has been started? It looks like they will. He might actually have to give his life for it, as Leona could land her Zenith Blade. She does. The stun comes out. Only 1 hit needed, and he does get the inhibitor as he gives his life. Probably you heard that all chat tick in the background. Probably him saying worth, as Baron does fall for his team as well. Inhibitor taken in the top lane, as well as Baron going over to Team Orbit. What was an even gold lead 2 minutes ago now becomes a 3k gold lead in favor of Team Orbit, with the Baron around 4 of their 5 champions. Great plays coming out here from Team Orbit. Lots of team play contributing to their successes. Lose lane, win game is, I'm sure, what Jax is saying. We got a nice little bit of a minion push here on this bottom lane turret. Just a lot of caster minions. Those pesky caster minions with so much damage. First Baron of the game going over to Team Orbit here, with 2 dragons going to purple team. Who needs a dragon when you can kill the worm? With a 3-man push here in the mid lane. Looks like Lee Sin just farming up a little bit of the jungle, trying to get the most out of his conservation stacks. Wow, Shockwave lands onto LMQ Vasily, and Caitlyn tanking the turret as well as an Ignite. Lucian pops the culling. The ultimate popped for the Alistar here. Ultimate has already been used by TSG Gomu's Vi. A lot of damage coming out from each of these champions. Vi gets the last hit on the cow here as Lucian's knocked out of the battle. Unknown Origins does have a couple spears available. He's looking for the greed hit, but he's going to get right in the face of Renekton. Jax sleeping around the back there to get Leona. Looks like Lee Sin will also be able to take out Orianna. Nice Zhanya's coming out from Nidalee, but she'll just die in the end no matter what. Again, super minions pushing in the top lane. There's a couple in this wave. They've got to go protect that. They can't really aggress as somebody was pinging out onto that mid lane. Lucian going to have to either recall or farm up that wave. We'll see what Orbit decides to do, with the Baron still on a couple champions here on their team. Lee Sin with Baron. Looks like Lee Sin the only one with Baron remaining, as he's going to be looking out to clear some of his enemy's jungle. Blue buff not available, as he'll find out by casting Sonic Wave. 173 farm on this Caitlyn. She has completed Phantom Dancer on top of the Bloodthirster. She's now trying to restack. A little bit of damage has gone down onto this mid lane turret. A Cannon Wave is available, with 3 defending for TSG. A lot of jungle pressure and jungle control in favor of Team Orbit here. Looks like they're going to be pushing that bottom lane, as top lane will push on its own. Super minions still going for the next minute and a half or so. Still spawning, I should say. Dragon is available. TSG has a little bit of an advantage, but they're all in vision in that jungle, as wards have been placed by that Alistar. Spear coming out doesn't actually connect. Blue buff going over to Orianna. It was quite a close call there between Piltover Peacemaker and a couple spears. Lee Sin soloing the dragon here. Smite battle coming out. We'll see who gets it. Kick. Looks like Vi gets kicked away, but ult back onto Jake Ryan. He will smite it out with the execute damage from Sonic Wave Resonating Strike. As the ult goes down onto Orianna, she takes a lot of damage. And Piltover Peacemaker for the last hit onto Vi. A valiant effort by her to try and secure the dragon for her team, giving her life for it. Just a 1 for dragon. That's definitely in favor. 1 and dragon, I should say. Definitely in favor of Team Orbit here. They get dragon and the jungler for their troubles. A 4-man stack here, 5-man stack here versus 4 as Vi is missing. Orianna is healing while Sonic Wave Resonating Strike lands as TSG Shaco took a spear to the face. Looks like the cow's going to be tanking. He walks away though. Flash in from Caitlyn to get the last hit on Lucian. Orianna not with a lot of HP. Again, that Piltover Peacemaker is just doing a lot to get those last hits. And that's going to be a quasi-ace as Vi just barely respawns. As the inhibitor respawns, still a super minion hammering down on that. That's going to be the inhibitor falling again. Looks like we're going on to the Nexus turrets here, guys, as Vi does a valiant effort to try and save her team. Resonating Strike lands, but the kick, not enough damage to tank through the regen of the fountain. Here's the Nexus falling, guys. A valiant effort from TSG Gomu, but she's just going to fall for her troubles. 26 minutes into the game. We do have a victory coming out from Team Orbit here. Congratulations to them. They'll be moving on to our finals this evening. And again, this is NotSoStockGaming's Platinum Tournament. Platinum Tournament of all of our tiers throughout the week. Thanks for joining us so far. That is the victory for Team Orbit. Congratulations. What a game. Again, I'll be creating this game going forward. This will be the first of a best-of-3 match between our finals. Again, we're just waiting to see who has won between SKT Hype Train with the tag OGNX versus Mons Domanium. Whoever wins that will come on to our finals here. Alright, here's an update on the matchup, the other semifinal matchup, guys. They're 30 minutes into the game. We could have them completed at any moment here. Again, congratulations to Team Orbit. We're just going to hop in here, guys, to spectate the last little bit of that semifinal matchup between SKT Hype Train and Mons Daemonium. Again, this is SKT Hype Train on purple side, Mons Daemonium on blue side. Awesome SKT 1Z skin on blue side, funnily enough. Alright, here we are. We're at the 23-minute mark as far as spectating goes. Looks like we have quite the push here in favor of the SKT Hype Train. It looks like first inhibitor going to fall here. Ignite goes down onto the Zed. He probably will not fall to that tick. He will not. Descendants almost landing from Captain Lord. There's that inhibitor going down. It'll be respawning around the 28-minute mark. 46.1k to 37.6 in favor of SKT Hype Train. 8 turrets to 4. A lot of met pressure in their favor. Baron is available at this time. Looks like most of these lanes have been in favor, or looks like the top lane has been in favor of SKT Hype Train. That Riven is quite fed. Tiamat available. She does have QSS. Tiamat, Brutalizer, cooldown boots, and a Bloodthirster. She chases from the middle of her own lane all the way to blue side's base. Shyvana gonna be joined by her bottom lane duo just to keep them safe, but wow, the full-on aggression from this Riven. She flashes to get the final auto off onto Graves. She does delete him, but Infinite Duress going to go down onto the Riven. QSS not fast enough to be able to save her from the overall damage from 5 members of Blue Team here. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, probably in favor of SKT Hype Train here, with the Marksman going down. Plus, Summoner Heal was used to try and save himself, but it wasn't enough. 18 to 19 in kills, but a massive gold lead, 9k in favor of SKT Hype Train here. Again, Dragon being started up by SKT Hype Train here. Looks like they'll get that one there. Again, as we're just joining, I'm not sure how many have been going over to them already, but I'm going to guess a few, because 4 turrets not going to be enough to create an 8k gold lead. Probably 2 or 3 have already gone in their favor, so another Dragon picked up here for SKT Hype Train. Trinity Force and the Bloodthirster completed for Lucian, whereas a Last Whisper instead of the Triforce completed for Graves here. A Giant's Belt, kind of nice for a little bit of health stacking to complement his passive there. Kind of a tanky 80 carry. These mid laners with so much gold. 240 plus farm on each of them, with Infinity Edge completed by Yasuo. A lot of wave care coming out with the Hydra now completed. Ravenous Hydra now completed by Riven, as she catches out onto the Warwick, but she gets Infinite Duress completed with the Death Mark. The AoE going to be enough to take down Zed and Warwick, as Graves forced to flash away from the team. Yasuo, with all of that armor penetration, going to get a triple kill and delete basically everybody here, as the ace is going to come out. Probably the Wukong going to give his life for that. Wow, he will survive with sub 50, sub 20 HP. Looks like that's going to be an ace for 1 in favor of SKT Hype Train here. They're going to get a second inhibitor, maybe even a third. They might even go for the win with just a few seconds recall. Looks like they will just recall instead, as each of them are quite low. There's super minions pushing on the Nexus, so they can't quite chase to stop the recalls from the SKT Hype Train. Warwick with that the Wriggles Lantern still, not even completing Feral Flare. This must have been a really rough game for him, not being able to farm at all. Alrighty, we do have all 5 members of SKT Hype Train really close to this Baron here. Zed's still farming up Wraiths, and I don't even think that, yeah, with the pink ward control, they're not going to actually have vision of this Baron being started here. And Riven is already in between the entire blue team. She will get deleted, but she'll take a couple ultimates with her. Deathmark was used as well as Explosive Shot. Wukong with a little bit of a chase, is forcing Dragon's Descent out of the Shyvana here in the top lane, with a couple super minions pushing in. Super minions also, oh wow, the inhibitor has respawned in that bottom lane, so there's no supers in the bottom lane. Supers in the top lane though, pushing. There's only one inhibitor turret remaining for blue team here. Wukong just moving around a little bit here. Infinite Duress is available for that, for the Warwick here, as well as Solar Flare. A lot of CC available for to deter any sort of tower dive. That gold lead now 13,000 in favor of SKT Hype Train, even though the kills are only 4 apart. So much gold, so much global map pressure, turrets, and barons and dragons in favor of SKT Hype Train. Deathmark comes off cooldown as Yasuo does a 1v1 here. Wow, what a close one, but the Ignite tick will be enough to take down the Zed. Just a 1-for-1 trade there as Lucian gets a little bit of aggression onto the Leona. She does not use any of her summoner spells. Captain Lord looking to clear out wards in this jungle, as well as maybe get a catch as blue side tries to rotate around. Looks like the inhibitor is going to fall here as we're waiting. Warwick coming around the backside. Will he use Infinite Duress, and who will he use it on? A little bit of a dash here as... Wow, the ultimate comes out from Wukong, only gets 1 knocked up. Death Sentence misses as the flash comes out from this Shyvana. Dragon's Descent will knock Riven away, and she just gets deleted from the AoE. Solar Flare used. Exhaust goes down onto Lucian. Exhaust goes down in return onto Warwick to stop a little bit of the chase. Wukong goes back to try and save his team. The Flay gonna do enough on top of the red buff from Lucian. As Deathmark has come off to cooldown, flash in to start it up here. That's going to be enough to actually delete this Lucian here as a little bit of a chase goes down onto the final remaining member in that battle. Zed finally falling to 4 members. Top lane inhibitor going to be responding soon as Lil Ray's on that Yasuo looking to steal that red, but it is already gone. Fails a ward over the wall, but it's not a big deal, as he'll just go and farm up that bottom lane. That 13k gold lead now down to only 10. Warwick still not with Pharaoh Flare, unfortunately. Shyvana farming up. She needs a little bit of magic resist, maybe. Oh, actually, we only have physical damage coming out from purple team here, other than the Thresh. It'll be interesting. No Thornmail on any members. Warwick just looking up to farm that last little bit of the jungle. As minions are aggressing in each of these lanes here into blue's. The base taking a lot of pressure from these minions here. Super minions are in that bottom lane still. The top lane inhibitor respawned a little bit ago. So we're looking to push right in here. Again, only 1 inhibitor turret remains. As Yasuo just clearing out these waves quite quickly. He does have a red pot on his person. Not quite 6 item, but he knows that this fight is probably going to be the last. Looks like we do have fortitude pots on 3 members. of Team SKT here. Looks like a little bit of pause coming out here, guys. We'll see what happens to get right back into this. A little bit of chat coming out here from each of these teams. We'll see if they're ready to unpause the game and finish it up. Looks like it's going to be a hard, uphill, steep battle for blue team here to try and get the win over SKT Hype Train. Again, whoever wins between this matchup will join Team Orbit for the finals match. Alright, we're back into the game here, guys. Alright, looks like we do have aggression here. Wukong sitting on his own. Maybe he disconnected and that's what the pause was about. We'll see what happens with that. Did not have any sort of announcer notification that he had disconnected. Basically everything available across the board from each team, other than a couple summoner spells here and there. So Wukong still has not moved. Dragon available, Baron in just over a minute. Super minions are still pushing on to that bottom lane, but being taken care of by Graves here. He's got enough damage to clear them up and lifesteal to make sure that he doesn't actually take damage from them. Looks like Yasuo is going to solo out the dragon here. The Eye Edge, Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, and Static Shiv just doing so much for him. Looks like he might go Randuin's or even Warmog, something built out of that Giant's Belt there as he still continues to farm up. 343 farm on him. A lot of gold. Hasaki indeed. Just a lot of defense from blue team, not wanting to go too far out from their base with not a lot of vision in their own jungle. That could have been deadly had there been purple team champions waiting for him in the wings. Wukong still having not moved, unfortunately for his team. Thresh wanting to keep him company, I suppose. Here comes that pause. They're probably going to be looking to try and get that reconnect here. Again, apologize for the delay, guys. We're just having a little bit of a pause here, as the Wukong seems to be having computer issues. In the meantime, though, you can check us out online at NotSoStock.ca. We do have our schedule for future tournaments available on that website. You can also sign up for our Team Finder feature, where you just put in your summoner name and some other information so that you can look for a team to join us for upcoming tournaments, and maybe just find your own 5v5 team. It's always great to have a team to belong to and to progress with. We also have coaching services by high elo players. There's more information about that on our website. Again, NotSoStock.ca. Join us for upcoming tournaments, guys. Follow this stream, hit that follow button. It'll just send you an email letting you know whenever we come online. You can join us for upcoming tournaments, upcoming streams. Give us your feedback. We'd love to hear how we can better entertain you moving forward. Again, this is the semifinal matchup between Team SKT Hype Train and Team Mons Demonium. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. As you can tell. But whoever wins this matchup will join Orbit Gaming for the finals matchup just after this. Looks like Baron has been started, already down to half HP, third HP, down to just a couple thousand, and it will get executed by that Wukong as he has joined his team. Finally reconnected here. 26 to 25 in kills, but still a 12 or so thousand gold lead in favor of purple team here. They're all going to recall. Well, most of them are going to recall. Finally buy up their final purchases here, as well as refresh their elixirs of fortitude. Looks like the last and final push going to be coming out here once Yasuo joins his team. Red buff going to be picked up here by Wukong, as blue team's not even safe to leave their base, let alone go into their jungle to pick up buffs. Looks like they're going to just shove out this bottom lane here, as top lane is pushing in their favor. Alright, 5 champions now in the bottom lane here for purple team. SKT Hype Train, even having the SKT wards. First auto's coming down out of this thresh here onto the inhibitor. Dragon's Descent is available, as well as Solar Flare. All ultimates available across the board. All summoner spells available from across the board. This is going to be the last and final battle between these two teams, with so much damage here. Infinite Duress down with the Yasuo. He's going to have to go away. Deathmark as well. He won't get a knockup. He does get a exhausted, so the damage goes down. Riffin doing a lot of damage to the back lane. Trying to get it. Warwick falls after Graves go down to Riven. Lucian with a double kill. He's still alive and extremely healthy. Flashes in for the chase. The crit not enough, but finally the Riven underneath the tower will be enough to take her down. Only the SKT Zed skin of remaining here. He gets a little bit of damage down. Ignite onto Riven. She will die, but the overall AoE enough to take out that Zed. The inhibitor falls. The 2 Nexus turrets going to fall here with 3 remaining members. Just the flashy moves out here with Flash Flay. And that's going to be the Nexus falling here. SKT Hype Train will be the victors of this semi-final matchup, which means they will be moving on to take on Orbit for the finals matchup here on tonight's NotSoStockGaming Platinum Tournament. Thanks for joining us so far. We're going to get into that finals in just a moment here, guys. Alright, just double checking that bracket. I'm also going to post that bracket in the chat here for you guys to go ahead and check out. Orbit Gaming is the highest seed, so they will get to choose. Give me one moment here. Alright, here we go, guys. We're going to be creating Alright, here we go. We're just getting into team select here, guys. Again, this is the final match of the evening between Orbit Gaming and SKT Hype Train. Orbit will be blue side. Alright, here we are into Champion Select. Again, this is Team Orbit versus Team SKT Hype Train. This is the Platinum tier tournament of NotSoStockGaming's amateur tournaments throughout the week. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Impossible, and I'll be casting this finals match between these two guys. Great games so far, great games to come. And this will be winner takes first place and the awesome grand prize of 3,200 RP per player, as well as the triumphant Rise skin as issued by Riot Games. I want to thank all of you that have joined us so far in this stream, and all of those who have joined us in the past. If you would be so kind as to hit that follow button at the bottom of the stream, it'll just send you an email anytime that we become online, and you can come and watch our streams and all the different tournaments throughout the week. We have Diamond tomorrow, as well as an open bracket on Friday. Our open bracket last Friday was a great success. We had awesome games, and we'd love to have you come and join us for the streams throughout the week as well as the weekend. If you'd like to join us as a team or a player, we do have a team finder feature on our website, NotSoStock.ca. You can go ahead and log on to there, put in some information. It'll help you find a team, put some teams together for future tournaments, as well as you can sign up an existing team for our tournaments upcoming throughout the week. We do have plenty of spots available, especially we're looking for diamond teams for tomorrow and next week's diamonds tournaments. If you have a diamond ranked 5v5 team, remember there are RP and skin rewards to be had. Alright, looks like we're going to have the bans on blue team coming out here. Thresh, Riven, and Yasuo banned out against Team SKT Hype Train. Versus the Lee Sin, Renekton, and Kayle bans coming out from SKT Hype Train. That first pick, Nocturne, going to be locked in as the jungler for Team Orbit. Whereas purple team here, the SKT Hype Train, going to lock in the Elise for the jungle and Leona for that bottom lane. Orianna could be the matchup again for that Team Orbit. Or the Alistar again, we'll see. Alright, the cow does get locked in for Team Orbit. Jay's hovered over. Lucian probably the lock-in. Alrighty, there we go. The Lucian locked in for iNublet. Although iNublet being their top laner, probably not going to be playing that champion himself. Alrighty, Zed hovered over, Ezreal hovered over. These could be the matchup once again. Instead of having the Yasuo as well as Wukong jungle, looks like they're probably going to have a little bit of magic damage coming out. Okay, instead of the Zed, they're going to have Nidalee perhaps. We'll see which one gets locked in here. Alright, Ezreal does get locked in. 8 seconds to lock in that mid lane champion. Nidalee does get locked in. So it's going to be that Nidalee as just an awesome all-around champion. Lots of heals, lots of long-range poke, as well as all-in with Cougar form. Ezreal with a lot of poke as well. We've seen a lot of games throughout our tournaments go where with a Nidalee and Elise duo kind of, with the jungle Elise coming in for great ganks. If a cocoon lands, that means you're taking a spear to the face if that Nidalee's any good at playing that champion. Looks like Jace does get locked in for iNublet in that top lane. He's going to get a nice pick there. He doesn't know who against, though, as the top lane will be the final counter pick here for Team SKT Hype Train. Orianna does get locked in. The second Orianna versus Nidalee matchup we'll see today. Just waiting on that top lane lock-in. Just the hover over of possible troll picks. Teemo not quite a troll pick though. He could be a possibility here against that Jace. Jace would probably mess with him though, with a lot of just different spell damages that can't actually be blocked by the blind coming out from the Teemo. Jax could be a possibility of a lock-in here. Definitely a great late-game carry, and he does get locked in. Barrier, the summoner spell, being thought about for that top laner, I suppose. Or that will be the Nidalee in the mid lane with Barrier. Again, this is patch 4.6. 4.7 patch notes are on LeagueOfLegends.com if you want to go check those out. Alright, 30 seconds remaining for the trades, as well as summoner spell changes, anything like that. It'll be interesting to see the matchup here in this bottom lane. You're going to have that Ezreal-Leona combo, where as soon as she gets on top of somebody, you're going to have Ezreal right there too. He's got a couple spells in his rotation that can ignite the passive of Leona. And turrets are going to fall in these 5v5 situations very fast. If you think about it, Ezreal's got that attack speed buff that he can apply to not only Jax, who's already a tower-taking monster, but we got an attack speed buff also from Primal Surge, the heal coming out from Nidalee here, and then also Elise with her own attack speed buff. It's just going to be a tower destruction coming out here from SKT Hype Train if they even win an inkling of a team fight. A little bit more split push pressure and kind of kiting potential available for Orbit, though. If they do get a 5v5, they've got the Alistar WQ combo with the ball on top of him from Orion into that Shockwave Dissonance. Could deal just a lot of damage if he catches enough people in that. A decent amount of poke and zoning potential from the Shock Blast coming out of this Jace, as well as the Orianna pick with just the zoning with her command attack. It'll be interesting to see if we have Feral Flare versus just a regular Spirit item. You know, probably going to be seeing the Spirit Golem for a little bit of tankiness and tenacity for Elise in that jungle. We'll see if she decides to go kind of that penetration build off of that tank jungle item. I see a lot of Elises these days going the double pen. You're going to get that Haunting Guys early, the Sork Boots, but then everything else is going to be a little bit tanky. You're going to have, you know, the tank jungle item, the Spirit of the Ancient Golem for, you know, the extra 300 health, as well as the tenacity passive. And then you're also going to probably go into maybe Sunfire Cape for a little bit of armor. Maybe even a Banshee's Veil to block a little bit of the early poke damage from that Jace, or maybe even, you know, a huge ability coming out from blue team here. The Nocturne probably looking to apply a lot of pressure around that 7-minute mark when champions are hitting about level 6 across the board. He'll be hitting level 6 around that mark. It'll be interesting to see what he does with his first Paranoia gank. Elise, though, level 3, then she's basically got a full double rotation, you know, with 8 spells to her name if you count changing between her forms. It'll be interesting to see what she does early on. Probably a lot more early pressure versus the Nocturne. Maybe even a little bit of an invade pressure in favor of that Elise. Because she does have lots, you know, she has a C, she has a lot of percent HP damage, hence the penetration builds being so good. The bottom lane match is going to be quite interesting. As I said, the Ezreal Leona versus the Alistar and Lucian. Lucian kind of like a lane bully in any lane, so it's kind of nice to have a bodyguard to protect the bully, so to speak. But there's a lot more all-in potential, I would believe, between the Ezreal and the Leona. So probably going to want nice ward pressure and ward control in that bottom lane to make sure that they have eyes on the Leona to dodge out those Zenith Blades, make sure you don't actually get hit by one of those. As long as you can do that, you've got a little bit more poke, you got a little bit more long-range damage coming out from the Lucian rather than Ezreal, because he can actually hit his abilities, the Lucian I mean, can actually hit his abilities through minions, whereas Ezreal has to kind of maneuver himself around them to get his poke damage off. Plus, the sustain coming out from the Alistar gives them advantage in that bottom lane as long as they don't actually get all-in. Alright, here we are. We're loading on to Summoner's Rift, guys. Again, thanks so much for joining us. This is NotSoStockGaming's Platinum Tier Tournament for this week. These two remaining teams are Team Orbit on blue side, as well as Team SKT Hype Train on purple side here. Both of these teams won their semifinal matchups, and we're here in the finals. Winners get an RP bonus, and the final first place finish will also get Triumphant Rise as issued by Riot Games. It'll be awesome to get those bonuses here. Thanks so much for joining us so far, guys. Hit that follow button. We'd love to have you join us on the stream whenever we are streaming, because we've got awesome games throughout the weeks, and you should join us for each of them. We have a lot of fun. If you want to post your questions, comments, any feedback that you can give us to make this better for you guys, we would love to have that information given to us. Hit that up in this Twitch chat. Let us know how we're doing. Again, my name is Impossible, and I am streaming each of the games, each of the tournaments throughout the week. Any feedback from me is always warranted. I would love to hear what you guys think and what I can do better to stream these better for you guys. And here we are on to Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is Team Orbit on blue side against Team SKT Hype Train on purple. These guys are platinum rated in their 5v5 queues, and it looks like they're going to be head-to-head matchup here for the finals of tonight's platinum tournament for NotSoStockGaming's weekly amateur tournaments. Just going to move around these champions here and get the matchups in their places. Alright, here we are. We're going to have that early Relic Shield for the Leona versus the coin out of the Alistar. We saw that matchup earlier today. Looks like Mystic Shock will land. That'll find one out. It doesn't actually grant vision, but if you hear it actually hit, then you'll know that a champion was there. We're just a minute in here. 55 seconds until the buff spawn. Looks like it's going to be a blue start for that Elise, as well as a red start from the Nocturne. Normally those junglers starting as the... you normally want to start on the bottom side so that you have a stronger leash from the duo in the bottom lane. Interesting thing about the Relic Shield, as I did mention in an earlier game, you make sure that if you want to get total increased gold, like the maximum gold you can get out of that item early on, make sure you use those first 2 charges that you start the game with on the first 2, or 2 of the first 3 melee minions in that first wave in the bottom lane. Because if you do actually consume those charges that early, 1, you get extra gold because melees are worth more than casters, as well as you'll have a charge that will come back off cooldown in time for the cannon of the 3rd wave that comes into lane later on. So a little bit of a leash here for Jake Ryan on that Nocturne. He's just going to clear up his red here. Shout out to Bossox Rock 12 in the Twitch chat. Thanks for joining us. Alright, this 2v2 matchup. There we go. There's those 2 executes, as I was talking about, for those 2 of the first 3 melees. So she'll have a charge available for the first cannon creep versus the just passive gold regen from the ancient coin here in the bottom lane. An early recall by that Jax, who must have taken a little bit too much damage. Blue buff. Jace is going to get an early gold lead, experience lead, and pressure lead here. I mean, we did have Elise starting blue buff, which means she's completing red now, and she'll have level 3 in time to come up, and Jace is quite pushed up without ward control. Looks like... looks like a little bit more farm coming out from the Nocturne. He's not going to be here for the counter gank. Spidey sense is coming out from Jax, perhaps, but no, he's actually still pushed up. Elise comes up from behind. This could be first blood. We'll see what happens. A little bit of a red buff slow, as well as the Q comes out. A lot of damage. Flash comes out. Wow, Cocoon misses at point-blank range. While she will put down a little bit more damage and a couple more ticks of the red buff. Wow, he goes back in. That might have been a mistake. Unfortunately, Cocoon didn't land. That might have been first blood here. 13-6 in farm. Jace gonna have to recall here. He could have probably popped a potion and stayed, but he chooses not to. A little bit of Zenith Blade into stun action. Eclipse also does. There's the last ignite of that damage as the W comes across. Interesting that the Ezreal has already taken his W there, because normally you would take a couple points maxing the Q and or the E. W not normally taken until about level 8 on most Ezreals. In higher elo, I should say. As this is Platinum, I'll try and stay with that. Nocturne mostly hard farming the jungle. Jace back in lane as the wave has been shoved to his turret. Quick shout out to Bavorman. Thanks for joining us, man. It's been awesome to see you in earlier streams as well. Again, down here in this bottom lane, it's basically even in farm. 26, 27, 27 to 27. A little bit even here. Both of these 80 carries with their health potions available. All consumables taken now by the cow. Let's double check on this mid lane here. Full HP for each of these champions. 27 to 27 in farm, but a little bit of a consumables lead. Looks like that's interesting. That must have been a recall earlier on by the Orianna, but still saying equal in farm. That's quite impressive. Alright, Elise is down. Wow, Jace goes down first blood in a 1v1 in that top lane. Ignite used. Flash was used by Jax, but he dies to the tick of Ignite. He must have. That's unfortunate for him. Elise spotted out by... Oh, Elise not spotted out by a ward, being pinged out by her own team, saying there might be a ward there. Looks like not, though. Blue side now pushing in as the wave is in their favor. But as Alistar goes in, he's out of mana. Will the Cocoon land on this gank? Nice flash from the Alistar to avoid the Zenith Blade as well as Cocoon. Will keep him safe. Alright, a little bit of a lull in this the laning phase action here, as Jungler's trying to hit that level 6. So you're going to see a lot more action once that Nocturne hits his level 6. Unknown Origin's quite low on mana and trying to do an auto attack battle with a cannon minion in favor of that Nidalee. It's going to finally back off as soon as she gets to her turret. Orianna did have both summoner spells available in that top lane. Just a little bit of a trade in each direction. Jax with Ignite available. No flash for this Jace. Elise knows that, and so she's coming in for a gank here. No ward's going to see her out quite yet. Alright, there she's going to be seen out in the river. Shock Blast goes down. Wow, he's still quite pushed up. He does have the movement speed buff from that. She will see the ward getting cleared out by that Elise. Elise will return up here as the wave will be pushing slightly in towards purple side here. Alright, here comes the freeze from each of these champions. Elise now back in the wings. Stun goes down onto Jace. Will the Cocoon land? Cocoon does land. Ignite goes down. And the final auto attack going to come out from number 1 of Legends. Jax getting his kill with a nice assist pool of gold also going over to Elise here. Alright, Nocturne almost 6 in the jungle. He's just going to pick up his red buff and then probably his blue buffs as well if he's not going to give that over to Orianna. He'll have level 6 for his first true gank of this game. Basically been hard farming up until this point. Up 10-13 farm on that Nocturne over his matchup as the Elise. Farm numbers mostly in favor of blue side across the board for just 100 gold lead, because of course First Blood did go in favor of that Jace, but an assist pool was on that second kill. A nice Relentless Pursuit dodge out to make sure that a Zenith Blade could not connect for that Leona. Alright, there is Paranoia available for that Nocturne. He's kind of hanging around the middle of the map, so he has pressure across the greatest radius. Jax did go back to buy. Looks like he's going to be going for most likely a Blade of the Ruined King off of that Vamp Scepter, with just the 2 longswords probably going to be built into a Brutalizer here for the up 10 CS Jace in that top lane. Alright, in this mid lane, blue buff given over to Nidalee, but the second blue buff was kept by Nocturne. A little bit of a mana and cooldown reduction lead. Cougar farm, a little bit of aggression down onto there. Shockwave not used, but the nice command dissonance does a little bit of a damage. Forces out the primal surge. Elise coming up in this top lane as Jax is already ignited under tower. Jace takes a lot of tower hits, is very low. Wow, Flash Cocoon goes down for the Q. Probably could have chased with just the movement speed of Splatterform, but just securing the kill there. That's going to be another assist pool of gold going over, keeping the gold relatively equal. But with eyes of that Elise in the top lane means Nocturne's free to gank down bottom. Wow, even through Paranoia, then it looks like, wow, this Leona gets away with double buffs, away with murder more like in the 3v2. Too much damage taken from the dragon before Paranoia was activated. A nice exhaust goes down onto the Lucian too to keep Leona safe. Wow, a little bit of a dive down here onto this Orianna. She has a lot of damage taken onto her, but a nice command Shockwave keeps Nidalee underneath the turret. Just a couple more autos for each of them, but the passive of Orianna makes her damage a little bit greater, and looks like she'll end up getting the blue buff she always wanted. Both summoners used from each of those champions in that mid lane. Elise with red buff. Gonna be running away from that Nocturne here as he just farms up the wave that's at the turret. A nice knock away from Jace to keep the stun off of him. As bottom lane is still here. Neither one of these AoE carries having recalled, as Leona did go back to pick up that Sightstone and the Sweeper Trinket. Now that she's here with double buffs, she forces the flash out as the Solar Flare hits. Wow, that's going to be possibly a kill coming up. Oh, the minion wave is there available for the nice repel out of that leash. She will survive with red buff, as it's just a 1 for none as Alistar falls. Leona getting the kill credit, or Leona not getting the kill credit there, sorry. Elise getting the kill credit. Pretty close game here. It's only a 500 gold difference separating, as that just a one kill lead in favor of Team SKT Hype Train here. Again, this is the finals matchup of tonight's Platinum Tournament for NotSoStockGaming. Again, neither one of these AD carries having based yet. LMQ Vasily not even having used his health potion yet from level 1. We'll see how long he stays. He is sitting on enough gold to complete Bloodthirster and full boots at this point, should he choose to go that route. This top lane here, kind of even. Jace with a little bit of a gold lead. Alright, Paranoia comes out onto that Jax. He does not have a lot to deal with this. The flash goes down on the Jace. Will the Ignite tick be enough? It will. But again, it's kind of these one for ones, but with an assist pool going over to whichever team brings the jungle over. Now that Nocturne again, as Nocturne shows in that top lane, kind of what happened with Elise in the top lane, it gives the okay go for purple team to start off the dragon here. They don't actually have their AD carry, but they do have a numbers advantage with the pink ward there. It looks like Alistar's going to go in with his ultimate pop. Not going to take a lot of damage. He's trying to just keep him there. The ball goes onto him. Command Shockwave, Command Dissonance doing enough damage to take out Elise. A little bit of a chase here. Now that Ezreal has shown up, they're going to go right onto this Orianna. She doesn't have enough. She gets stunned up, and the last auto attack from Leona going to take her down. Fear Tether going down, connects onto that Leona. Exhaust goes down onto the Nocturne as well as the Ezreal. Keeps Nocturne safe. Leona will go down to Lucian. Lucian now has a BF Sword and Vamp Scepter. Will he choose to chase? No, he will not. Just backing off as they see the opportunity for farming. Won't actually kill off that ward there, as there is a decent size minion wave still available in this. Nocturne just taking a lot of damage in the jungle as he is quite low. Don't know if it would be a smart idea to start this off. He will probably get executed. Yeah, he will definitely get executed if he chooses to try and actually complete that red buff. He's going to have to recall and do that later. Interesting to see that out of a challenger trim player trying to do a buff with no HP. Alright, Kingsley here with the completed Bloodthirster, stacking it up already. The 3 assists making up for the farm difference between him and his respective AD carry matchup. Blue thinking about making sure that they get their own blue buff. It is warded up by purple team, so they will know the timer on that when it gets taken. Alright, in this top lane, a little bit of a battle here. The stun goes down onto Jace. He takes a lot of damage. Shock Blast turns around and the Ignite, but it's not going to be enough damage to take down that Jax, as he did pop his ultimate to make sure that he didn't take full value of Jace's damage. Nocturne not even close. Paranoia not even available, so number 1 of Legends feels safe to save in lane and farm everything up, shove it into the turret, and then probably base with the gold that he just got. Let's double check on this bottom lane here. Shoving in against LMQ Vasily here. He's got a nice minion lead over Ezreal, but the completed Bloodthirster not as far along in its stack. Alright, Paranoia available. Shockwave does hit Nidalee, but not the Elise. Wow, the spear barely missing. The flash out of this Elise Is Repel available again? No, it is not. She will fall to the auto attack. Again, the Orianna passive doing work. Nidalee will heal herself up using that blue buff to make sure her heal is low. Wow, the bottom lane makes their way up here. The culling from range. Get culled, Nidalee. He goes down. Unfortunately, the assist pool had worn off as far as the timers went. A 4-0 push here in this mid lane. They're going to take one turret, maybe even two here. Purple team's turret destroyed in that top lane. Jace taking that down with ease. That's going to be 3 turrets in a very quick succession going down in favor of Team Orbit. Jace sitting here in the wings, probably talking to his team. Number 1 of Legends farming up a little bit of a gold lead in his favor. The Cutlass not quite completed into that Blade of the Ruined King. Uh-oh, Ezreal on his own here. His support not with him. Will the combo land here? Even if it does, underneath the turret's probably not the best way to go. A little bit of poke down onto Kingsley's Ezreal, but he's out of mana. He's probably just going to base here. His ultimate not available to shove, as he's already taken that bottom lane turret. Just farming up here in his bottom lane. Nocturne picking up his red buff. Most of the farm numbers across the board pretty even, other than the jungle, as Elise has been roaming around quite a bit. Nocturne not quite as much. I mean, they do have the same, relatively same KDA minus the extra death on that Elise. I guess Nocturne just doing a little bit better as far as overall gold goes with the almost doubled farm here. And he is going the Feral Flare route, so that's definitely the better sounding option. More farm on that champion. Looks like Orianna takes a spear to the face. It's a little bit low, but she does have consumables to keep herself safe. Wards and potions to deal with junglers and a Nidalee. Nice farm numbers in favor of that Orianna. She has completed her Athene's Sork Boots with Home Guard. Interesting choice to make sure she's always in lane to protect her turret. Dragon spawns in just about a minute. Sweeper used to make sure there's no real wards other than pink wards in there. They will get spotted out coming down. The blue buff still on this Lucian for just a few more seconds. Leona, nice, walking in that direction to zone out the Alistar, make him walk the long way around. He's going to miss out on a little bit of experience from those waves, but nothing too big. Alright, looks like Jax shoving in against this guy. He does now have a completed Blade of the Ruined King. A little bit of damage there. Wow, cancels his auto and takes a couple tower hits. That's really unfortunate there. If you're ever playing in the top lane and you're wanting to do a little bit of a trade there, if you cancel your spells... Oh wow, the flash aggression here on that. First is the flash. Ignite is ticking on that Jace. That was kind of a bait there as he just gets Jace to stand still for just enough time. Maybe it was stopping to calculate damage perhaps. That's quite the burst damage coming out from the Blade of the Ruined King active, as well as the empowered auto attacks from Jax's ultimate passive, as well as his W and Q abilities. Lots of damage coming out. Number 1 of Legends, another solo kill onto that Jace. Orianna comes up here to maybe keep things safe. Paranoia used in that bottom lane. Ezreal is getting quite low. Ezreal and Jax fall at the same time in their respective lanes. Elise also getting quite low. Double kill for that Lucian. We're chasing on here. Wow, great spear lands onto Lucian. Zenith Blade as well as the spear is just enough damage to take him out. These guys are both quite low. Cougar Form available to the Prowl of the brush movement speed. Nice Zenith Blade and the stun lands. Triple kill in favor of Nidalee. Wow, what a play. Nidalee with 3 extra kills means her spears are going to get bigger and bigger throughout this game. What an unfortunate turn of events. But again, 11-11, 3-1 in turrets. But still, only 600 gold separates these teams. And it is in favor of Team Orbit here. Alright, Dragon is available, guys. Wow, a full Shock Blast lands through the acceleration gate onto Nidalee. She's going to use Primal Surge to heal back up. Oh, wow, not enough damage from that spear. Has to walk in and auto-attack it. Sorry, my dog in the background is barking. Apologize. Alright, looks like this dragon is started up by blue team. They're going to be taking it out. That'll be the first dragon in favor of Orbit. Smite comes out from Nocturne to make sure that is secured for his team. Still not too much of a gold lead in favor of anybody, as Jax has no teleport and is solo pushing that top lane. Gets a turret for his troubles, might even get a second one. Nice. The spear makes Orbit cancel a couple recalls, calling out for a little bit of help in that top lane. Nidalee trying to cancel as many recalls as possible. Cancels one more. Jace stops his own to save his team. Solar Flare comes out from that Leona. She will go down to that Nocturne. The Elise has to flash out. Her Repel goes down into the backline. She'll fall. The chase from Jake Ryan here, having so much damage from Feral Flare already being completed. Looks like the turret will fall as well. That's going to be 3 kills plus a turret in favor of Orbit. But 2 turrets in that top lane. The Jax pushing with a double wave now. I don't know if Orianna can actually deal with him. He takes a little bit of a poke from command attack distance. A little bit of a chase here. He's down to about 60%. Turns it on her. He does have Blade of the Ruined King active available, and a lot of damage. Shockwave goes off, but the Blade of the Ruined King active finally slows her, and the gem comes back up his Q just enough to do that. And the recalls come back out. There's going to be Nocturne and Jace available to defend, but he gets a solo kill for his troubles as well. That's really unfortunate. Paranoia not available, but Dusk Trail has landed onto number 1 of Legends, which means the speed buff for Jake Ryan is available. His own Blade of the Ruined King happens. It's a close call. Ignite down onto this Nocturne. It's so close, and the Jax comes up with even another kill. So much lifesteal and overall damage. What a man. He gets 2 turrets and 2 kills, while his team picks up a few in that bottom lane, keeping things close. Nidalee fed. Jax definitely fed. Jax a monster. Alright, pretty close here. Elise is going to find out this Jace. She's got Leona on her tail as well. Repel comes in. There's the red buff slow from a couple autos. Solar Flare goes down. Don't know if that was necessary, but Zenith Blade will also connect. Plus the stun. Eclipse not going to also deal damage, but that's going to be a kill for free in this top lane. Will they think about Baron? Clearing out wards that might have been there. Not a lot of vision in this area for blue team. The last and final ward in that area going to be spotted out by that Leona's sweeper. Looks like a 4-man push here in the mid lane. Only 3 here to defend if you count the Nocturne with Paranoia available. Lucian on his way up. Jax recalls to finish his Triforce. Man, he's a monster at this point. Triforce and Blade of the Ruined King only 23 minutes in with full boots. That's kind of scary. Alright, Paranoia gets activated. The ultimate activated from the Alistar as well. Culling down onto the Elise. A little bit of a chase here. Red buff is available. Wow, Jax joins the fight, gets a kill on that Orianna, and turns things around. His ultimate is activated, which means he has a lot of resistances. Wow, the cow knocks the Jax into his AD carry, but Jax says, no, I'll take you down first. Wow, both of these champions really low. That's going to be 2 kills going down for blue team here. The Fear Tether goes up. Jax gets really low, but he's empowered. Wow, his empowered auto attack's doing so much damage with that Triforce and his passive. So much attack speed, so much damage. Double buffs now on that champion as well. That's a quadra kill for this Jax. 10 kills, 24 minutes into this game. He is a monster. Will he think about duoing Baron with this Nidalee or just taking another turret? Again, that attack speed, Primal Surge available. Jax, we all love that sound, do we not? Takes down a second turret. That's 4 turrets falling to the hands of this Jax. So much global gold now in favor of purple team. They're up 3k, up 1 turret. What a bloody game we've had so far, guys. What a great match. Still relatively close, guys. 3k at this point. Yeah, I'm closer to 2k at this point. Not too much. Not a lead that can't be overcome. Wow, the Solar Flare misses, but the stun coming out from Jax. Did you see that damage? Did you see that damage? Just so much. Orianna just gets deleted between the spear from that Nidalee as well as just the overall burst coming out from this Jax's auto attacks. little bit of Shock Blast coming out here. Lucian and Nocturne chasing out this Elise in the jungle. The culling will take her down. Spear misses. Wow, Jax becomes legendary as Jace tries to aggress. Zenith Blade misses, but there's an Ignite down onto this ulted cow. He'll be safe for sure. He has heal available. His heal. Oh wow, takes a spear to the face. He's going to have to back off now to heal on the platform. Paranoia goes down onto Jax just in time for him to be underneath the turret. And that's going to be a shutdown. 500 gold, full value. Going over to who they would want it to, the Lucian picking up that kill. A 2-for-1, 2-for-2 overall on these trades. 30 seconds on that Jax. Jax the most fed member. Not a single kill on that Ezreal. Will they think about Baron? They decide, no, we just need to protect the base. They're going to farm up their jungle. Just under 20 seconds remaining on the respawn timer for that dragon. Things go down by Purple Team saying that's probably what's next on the plate. What a close game here, guys. Only 2k gold separates these teams. We are 26 minutes into the final match of tonight's NotSoStockGaming Platinum Tournament. Dragon started up by this Elise here. Again, as I said, she's got that penetration build on top of tankiness. Spear misses because they pulled out the tether of that dragon. Smite is available by this Elise. She will complete it. The culling and Shock Blast, not going to steal it away. Interesting use of that culling. Probably not the best choice because Elise does have a % missing health execute as well as the smite available. A worthy effort, at least. Cocoon misses. If that had landed onto Orianna, you bet she'll get deleted. A little bit of a Shock Blast lands, but there's a lot of armor on that Elise. Will she get caught up? Jace gets on top of her. The flash, as well as Face of the Mountain shield activated onto that Elise. She's quite safe. Jax looking for the flank here. He has a Banshee's Veil available. He's just going to farm up these minions, get a little bit of a shove going on. Ezreal did base to buy a pickaxe. Red buff is available. We'll see who gets that. Probably the Jax here, as he'll need a little bit more damage per auto attack. And then nice true damage and slow. Ezreal just farming up this mid lane here. He doesn't have a single kill, but he is farming quite nicely, keeping at least on par with that Lucian. Double wave stacked up there in the bottom lane. Looks like Nidalee's going to clear that out. She's the most farmed member on her team. Wow. The Nocturne ult onto this Elise. She has taken so much damage already. Nice Shock Blast before the repel. She's got nowhere to go. She's going to fall right into 5 members of Orbit, and she's going to fall. That's going to get a numbers advantage in favor of Orbit. Even though they're down in gold, they've got the numbers advantage here to push on, perhaps even on an inhibitor turret. There is an Elixir of Fortitude on #1 of Legends, Jax, and he is quite scary at this moment. And there's the Banshee's Veil coming right back up. Nidalee on this side trying to get a little bit of a poke down. Hits a minion instead of a champion. That's unfortunate. Jumps away with Cougar Farm. Staying safe. She's got blue buff to keep those spears coming. One lands. No, it does not. Would have been a max range onto the back of that cow. And a pause comes out. Would be interesting. We did not hear a disconnect or anything like that. It's okay. They are entitled to pauses throughout these games. Excuse me while I get a drink of water. Alright, here we are. Looks like Baron's the next thing on the table. A few pings in that area. Purple team definitely has decent ward coverage. They have that pink close there, and they've got sweepers in the area. Jack starts it up. He's not afraid. The Banshee's Veil comes off to the first auto attack coming out from that Baron. Mid being shoved out by blue team, but Orianna's low on mana, guys. This isn't very good. Blue buff is available for her, but Leona takes a little bit of poke. The spear is a goal shot. Doesn't actually hit anybody. Orianna's out of mana, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good for them. Also, Nocturne quite low on mana. She needs to get that blow buff and regen up a little bit. I think Purple Team could have actually gotten that quite free there, or forced to fight in their favor. But a double, almost triple wave here in this top lane is going to be farmed up by that Jax. Alright, here we are, a little bit of a lull as the Baron wasn't actually taken by either team there. It was unfortunate because Jax really wanted to fight there. You saw him with the Elixir of Fortitude, that red pot, a little bit of HP, a little bit more damage. He's also got that Banshee's Veil. He's now building that Warden's Mail as well as Giant's Bell, probably into a Randuin's Omen here to be able to dive the backline a little bit better and slow people up for his team. Alright, Nidalee still in base. Lucian farming up his jungle. Finally, 5 together for blue team, 4 together for purple team. Jax not sitting on a ward. Could assassinate somebody if they take the wrong step because he does have vision over that wall. Can jump it too. I hope you guys are on the edge of your seat too. I know I am. This is the final matchup for NotSoStockGaming's Platinum Tournament of League of Legends. There are RP and skin rewards for the victors of this tournament. Top 4 teams do get bonuses. Alright, 5 members close to this mid lane here as Nidalee's picking up her own blue buff. It'll be nice. Extra spears, extra heals. Elise backing. Neither team kind of timing their backs together. And that tank Elise doing decent for her team. Most of the damage potential on this Jax here. Jax getting quite tanky. Careful pings coming out from blue team here. Will the spear land? No, it does not. Nooblet staying safe from that hitbox. All summoner spells, all ultimates available from each of these teams as Flash comes off cooldown for that Elise. Top pinged out by blue team saying, we've got that pushing against us. Got to keep that in mind. Bottom lane pushing in blue team's favor though. There is a ward in that pit. They won't work because they do know that they're not starting it. Alright, Jackson Elise decided, well, we might as well just go for it. That attack speed buff comes out from that Ezreal. They will start it up. Nocturne comes in with Paranoia, gets trapped between all of the members of the team. Shockwave, Dissonance comes out, puts a lot of damage down onto that Nocturne. Nocturne goes out of the fight, gets completely deleted. Jace goes down, Nocturne down. That's a double kill for that Ezreal. Even though he hadn't gotten kills in the rest of the game, he's definitely getting a few now. Won't be a triple for him as the final Orianna goes down. That's an ace just for the Jax. I mean, you have to take out that Jax. How do you deal with him? They have to delete him, so they choose to focus him, but then that leaves the rest of the team to freely deal damage. And that's an ace in favor of SKT Hype Train. Baron on the board. It looks like he's going to start it up. The Ezreal's starting it up, and Elise will come to join. She's tanky enough to tank it up. Plus the attack speed buff from the Ezreal will make each of them work together. Easy work to take down that Baron. It's also going to be an inhibitor falling. 5 seconds remaining. Will they be able to get in time? Looks like home guards haven't been purchased by Jace, and he would have been the only one really to keep things in their favor. Not too much of a chase coming out from that cow. How's the Baron coming along? There it is. Unfortunately, they didn't hold off for a couple more seconds. They probably could have to get the buff also onto Jax, but as you can see, he respawned right before the Baron was actually taken. He'll probably just go and solo up that dragon after taking the couple waves down here bottom. He has completed that Randuin's Omen for a little bit more tankiness. Maybe he'll survive the next fight. But an ace for 1 means things are probably going to be even worse off now that there is a Baron on SKT Hype Train. Now an 8k gold lead in their favor. 6 turrets to 4 and an inhibitor down in that top lane. Although Orbit, first to get here to the dragon, looks like they're going to tank it down. That'll be nice to get a little bit of gold back in their favor. Alright, top lane pushing with that super minion. Going to need somebody to go and protect that. Orianna going to go pick up her blue. All the recals coming out to spend all the gold from those previous engagements, all the tower kills, as well as the Baron gold being spent up by their team there. Deathcat completed by Nidalee on top of Void Staff, Zhanya's, Sork Boots, and Athene's. Those spears, like probably just one of those, will send away this no magic resist Jace, no magic resist Lucian, and no magic resist items on the cow either. That's a lot of damage. There's so much regen available from this from the Baron buff that shock blasts aren't even seeming to do much, especially with the armor that's in the Seeker's Armguard part of that build path for Hourglass. See, even on what we would say would be the tank for blue team, he's taking so much pain from those spears. Alright, a little bit of push. Looks like Jax dives the backline as the turret does fall. Jax down to half before he pops his ultimate. Shockwave hits 3 members. Ezreal down to half. Jax down to half. The heal coming out onto that Ezreal. The attack speed buff. Leona gets the final kill credit onto that Nocturne as Orianna gets trapped between 4. The cow gets away with no HP. Well, not no HP, but very little HP. Leona just going to tank up this turret as it goes down to the attack speed of that Jax. Love that sound. A little bit of a fight here. Wow, what is that positioning by that Lucian? He's in between the entire purple team. Godlike for that Nidalee. The Ignite goes down for reduced healing on that platform, and that's going to be the ace as Jax gets the final hit on the actual platform. That's the second inhibitor going down. Nexus turret's going to fall here, and this is going to be the championship. The first place finish here for SKT Hype Train. Hype Train. Congratulations to SKT Hype Train. You are our victors for NotSoStock's Amateur Tournament's Platinum tier tonight. Congratulations, Hype Train. SKT, them Koreans, guys. Good game. What a close one for most of that game, but ends up ending in favor of SKT Hype Train. Congratulations, they are our victors. Alright, congratulations to that team. Thanks for joining us so far, guys. This has been NotSoStockGaming's Platinum Tournament of League of Legends. We do have a tier for each day of the week. Bronze up through Diamond. We would love to have more teams for each of those tiers. If you want to come and join us, sign on to our website, NotSoStock.ca. Sign up your team, sign up your friends' teams, make a new team. Use our feature of Team Finder if you don't even have a team. Just sign up as a member looking for a team. Sign up on our website, NotSoStock.ca. We also have high elo coaching available. If you're interested in that, to try to up your game so that you can join into the higher elos, go ahead and check that service out on our website as well. We'd love to have you. We got awesome coaches available. Looks like that third place match is underway at this time. I'm going to hop in here. We'll just watch that before we send you all on your ways. Again, hit that follow button, guys. We'd love to have you follow the stream. Check us out whenever we're streaming tournaments. We've got bronze tournaments up through diamond tournaments in any tier on the weekends, Friday nights. This Friday night, guys, it doesn't matter if you're bronze, doesn't matter if you're silver, gold, platinum, diamond, sign up for that tournament, guys. There's RP to be had, triumphant rise for the winners in the end. And that's pretty sweet pickup for anybody. Just sign up your team, make a team, get ranked in time for Friday, and we can have you join us for that tournament. Any tier this Friday coming up. We would love to have you. And if you're Diamond, join us tomorrow for our Diamond tournament. Looks like we're in a pause in this game. Again, congratulations. We do have our winners of tonight's tournament. It was Team SKT Hype Train took that first place finish. This is just the third place match that I figured we would have you guys get a little bit more entertainment in for the night, because we did have a relatively short stream so far. Again, this is Team TSG versus Team Mons Demonium. TSG versus Mons Demonium for that third place finish. As we're in game here. Again, thanks for joining us so far, guys. We love having you spectate. If there's any feedback at all that you guys can give us, go ahead and post that in the Twitch chat. I've had such a great time streaming for you guys thus far. I love doing this for you guys, but I would love to have your feedback. Tell me what I can do better to cast this better for you guys, and let us know as NotSoStock, as an organization, how we can make this a better experience for all of you as spectators, as players, as teams. Let us know. We love your feedback. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at NotSoStockGaming. You can also follow me personally on Twitter at TheImpossible with ones instead of I's, the way it's spelled in client, as well as on the stream. You can follow us on Facebook and check us out on Facebook. Check me out on Facebook, as well as on Twitter. Bizarrex, thanks for your concern. I do drink a little bit of water in between games. Of course, it's a lot of talking to do solo casting, but I love it. I love it, and I love you guys. I love that you join us for this. Seriously, hit that follow button. Follow us on this stream. Follow me on my own stream. I love to stream for you guys, and I love to just be an entertainer. Help me do what I do, and follow the stream, guys. Check us out every time that we're streaming. A little bit of a pause here. A lot of bit of a pause, I should say, as they've already been in it for 6 minutes. We're 30 minutes into the game here. It looks like we've got a little bit of a gold lead in favor of purple team here. Bizarrex, yeah, it's a little bit hard to find a team, but like I said, we do have that thing on our website called Team Finder, where you can put your name on there, and it's a nice service to make it kind of a little bit easier to find a team. Also, if that's not for you, but like I said, it's a great service. If you were looking to find a team, there's a lot of resources out there. Our website is one, NotSoStock.ca, that Team Finder tab. You can go ahead and click on that, as well as there's forums for team finding. You can always just jump into like the public chats in client, and then Reddit. There's an entire Reddit subreddit that's dedicated to like LFT, looking for a team. You can always do that, and even just like leaving your status as looking for a team in client is always just a great way. Sometimes you just get the random ad, and then people see that you're looking for a team. It's never a bad way to go. Still in this pause here, guys. Thanks, Boss Us Rocks. Still in that pause here. Alright, looks like we're going to get back into the game here. Baron has been taken by somebody. Looks like it's off. Uh-oh, there's a bug on my client where it says... Okay, there we go. We're in game here. Looks like Baron wasn't taken. It was invisible while we were in the pause, but it is available now and live. A minute and a half towards that dragon. Renekton super tanky with a Thornmail on his back. Move these around here so I have a little bit better of a look of how things have gone out. Wow, the Kha'Zix is up 7 kills, guys. He's almost legendary in this game. What a beast. What a monster. And let's see if he's leveled up that jump. He does. Okay, so he's upgraded his ultimate, his jump, and his claws, which means he's going to have resets available and massive single target damage, as well as his ultimate to be able to reposition himself and take reduced damage throughout team fights as needed. Nidalee does have a completed death cap, so she's still going to be relevant even though she's behind her mid lane matchup. LeBlanc with a few kills here. Just full damage. She hasn't completed her hourglass yet. So we've got to keep that in mind going forward. She's bottom side too. If she shows, that's almost like a ready go for purple team to go ahead and take this Baron. Kha'Zix's just hanging around in that dragon pit, waiting for it to spawn in just 5 seconds. He's going to solo it out. Wow, one spear down onto Twitch puts him down to half HP as wards get cleared out here by this Leona around that Baron pit. Look at that ward control by TSG up that top side by that Baron pit as Dragon falls in favor of purple team, increasing their gold lead to 6, almost 7,000. Again, Thornmail on that Renekton, keeping him super healthy from all the damage except for... Yeah, he's got just a lot of resistances, guys. Not too much HP, but a lot of resistances. Okay, he does pick up that Giant's Belt. He'll be able to tank up just a lot of damage as he'll clear out that top lane as his team shoves that mid. Nice, a charge consumed by TSG Pro's Face of the Mountain to get that cannon creep doubled up on the gold that it provides. Alright, Shyvana in that bottom lane. No teleport. Oh, she does have teleport available. Renekton also does have teleport. We'll see if they send him bottom to shove or if they want to take that top lane turret. Again, massive ward coverage. Awesome ward coverage. Oh, wow. Nidalee just gets deleted now. That was quite unfortunate. We had the nice Dark Binding landing by that Morgana into the full rotation, including DFG combo out of LeBlanc just to delete that mid lane carrier. Teleport comes in here from the Renekton, but nothing doing from either team. Uh-oh. We've got an Oracle on that Kha'Zix. He's going to see Twitch as he becomes... Wow, the stun lands on 2 there. The spell shield not early enough. Morgana starts to ulti. Will the Ignite do enough? It won't. Nice slow there coming out from the Zenith Blade does enough to actually execute that Twitch. As Jinx goes down in return. Wow, nice stun underneath the tower, but she's super tanky. Leona going to be staying safe. The slow lands from the W, but Kha'Zix not tanky enough to dive. As Renekton falls to Shyvana and LeBlanc. Blinking red across the board here. A lot of damage going on into this bottom lane turret with a couple waves having already been hammering on it and another wave to come with a cannon. But Nidalee coming over to clear it up. Red buff is available for each of these teams. Kha'Zix's going to go and take his. There's a few more words being cleared out here by this Leona. She's definitely putting a lot of emphasis on that vision control for her team. It's an awesome skin. I like that. Oh wow, Dark Binding lands onto the Renekton, but the Ethereal Chains doesn't actually stay connected. They choose not to actually continue their aggression. And it's funny, with all of that happening, he doesn't actually take much damage. I mean, the mines, the chompers coming out from the Jinx right in front of him did a lot to sway the aggression. But TSG believes Nidalee quite low on mana. She's going to want to base here. There she goes with that recall. Blue buff is available for that Nidalee. She'll probably grab it after she respawns in that base. She picks up an early Negatron close to make sure she can't get deleted again as she did last time by that LeBlanc. Blue buff started up by that Kha'Zix. Wow, he won't be able to complete it. Looks like it's going to be stolen away here. Given probably over to that LeBlanc. Smite comes out. But looks like Kha'Zix in a bad spot here. He does have an Oracle. Catches out the... Oh, Ethereal Jinx does connect, but the jump was available. Dragon's Descent misses. Gets a little bit of Flame's Breath over the wall. Wow, Jinx just gets deleted. Caught out by LeBlanc with the full DFG combo. Nice spear lands onto that Wukong. Kha'Zix jumps over the wall to join his team. But they're missing their hyper late game carry with Super Mega Death Rocket still in that pocket. 42nd Death Timer with 38 minutes into this game. Wow, one spear lands onto LeBlanc, which means she is basically dead. She's only got 300, maybe 400 HP. Wukong gets caught. The stun goes down onto the clone, but Twitch alone against a Kha'Zix. Rest in peace. Rest in pieces. Rest in Pepperino, that super team created by the European monsters. Alright, Baron on the table is finally pinged out here. Jinx on her way. Shyvana still full HP, very tanky and quite close. Spear misses. And as the sweeper wears off, then a ward goes down. Great job by that Morgana to make sure that she still has a little bit of pressure here. One spear lands, not right max range, but a decent spear lands onto that LeBlanc. She's down to half HP, probably has to go recall and heal. Kha'Zix soloing the dragon again for his team. 7k gold lead in favor of TSG here. Up 6 kills. We'll see what happens here. Still a relatively close game, even though this is about 8 or 9k in favor of TSG here. But map pressure pretty much equal. There's a lot of all-in potential. Wow, if that Ethereal Chains had have connected on top of that DFG, that Nidalee might have been enough to take out Nidalee. Oh, she almost distorted into that spear there. That would have been devastating to her team. A nice Dark Binding lands after the spell shield is, or the Banshee's Veil goes away from the W from this rat here. Looks like Blue Vest's gonna get stolen over, given away to that Nidalee. Wow, the stun right onto Twitch here, as Leona just gets deleted because she's in the middle of it all. Wow, the flash in from that Morgana blocks Super Mega Death Rocket, and she was full HP, so she didn't take full value from it. Looks like Jinx will fall to that Wukong. Wukong has a lot of damage on the chase against that Nidalee. Will he be able to do it? Probably not, as Kha'Zix comes in from behind, and there's a killing spree from that Kha'Zix. 3 members still remaining, including a full health jungler, plus somebody with a heal. And the tanky. There can just 2-man this here, as Nidalee is going to go and clear out that top lane. Only 2 remaining members are the Shyvana and the LeBlanc. LeBlanc could come in here as, if you did not know, Baron applies a magic resist debuff, makes you take more damage from magic, take extra magic damage. She's trying to burst out the Baron, and whoa, she does! Smite was available by this Kha'Zix, but she bursts out the Baron right in front of him. Holy crap, TSG Gomu probably getting hell from his team for that play. LeBlanc stealing the Baron, guys. right underneath the nose of the jungler, plus a Renekton, and Smite available? What a misplay by that Kha'Zix. Oh, and he has single target execute damage as well. That was painful to watch. A little bit of aggression, a little bit of a tussle between the top laners, but not too much happening. Baron buff ends up being on only Shyvana, because she was the only one alive at the time. Because, I mean, LeBlanc did get the buff, but then ends up dying and losing the buff. And most of the enemy, most of blue team had not respawned at that time. Man, I don't think I've ever seen a more painful Baron steal other than when, in last split of the LCS, not this year's spring split, but the summer split of last year, when Bloodwater on Janna stole Baron with a level 1, like rank 1, Howling Gale. Like, just the Q, the tornado from that Janna, that was probably the only more painful Baron steal that I've ever seen, other than what I just saw before my eyes. That was quite unfortunate. A LeBlanc, too, it's like, she doesn't have a million damage. A nice Dark Binding landing onto TSG Pro, but she's tanky enough to basically take 0 damage from all that poke. Speaking of poke, Nidalee having blue buff here. A couple Banshees Veil on purple team here as Wukong goes invisible. 2 upgraded sweeper trinkets, in other words the oracles, available for... Wow, Xenoblade lands onto Solar Flare, misses everything, guys, as Jinx gets jumped on by both Wukong and Shyvana. Shyvana dies to Jinx. Kha'Zix goes down, or Jinx dies to Shyvana, rather, as Kha'Zix falls to the back line. 3 for nothing, 3 for 1. There goes Wukong. TSG Shaco taking a little bit of damage from the true damage passive from Twitch. Twitch is alive. Dragon in 1 minute. They probably need to get an inhibitor off of this to stay relevant. Nice spear lands onto Mach Knight 8. His Twitch not having any resistances other than the tiny little bit of magic resist and regen, a tiny little bit of HP from that, what is that, the Spectre's Cowl, the new item from this season. It's a relatively close game here, guys, still. With that Baron still evening things up. Shyvana's still tanking the turret, taking a lot of damage, but Nidalee's quite squishy. Twitch has been tanking the turret for years and ends up falling. Nidalee on a little bit of a chase here, but she's jumps into the ethereal chains. DFG is available by LeBlanc. She's still a scary champion. I don't know if you really want to do this. Spear goes down onto the tanky Shyvana. She's got a lot of magic resist, though, to deal with that. Top lane turret falls to minions in favor of blue team here. A 4-man push down this mid lane, down onto low HP. 30 seconds still remaining as a death timer on Twitch. Banshee's Veil popped by the Dark Binding. A little bit of a push here. Jinx is alone. That's kind of scary. The Wukong always jumping on top of her. Ultimates available across the board for each of these teams in just a moment. There's the cooldowns of both Super Mega Death Rocket and Dominance as the dragons had started up. It's going to be the 3rd dragon since we joined this game here. 46 minutes into the game. Again, this is the 3rd place match between TSG and Mons Demonium. This will be for the 3rd place finish of tonight's Platinum Tournament by NotSoStockGaming. Alright, blue buff going over here to this LeBlanc. She'll have a little bit more mana regen and a little bit more CDR to get a few more rotations in of her spells. Baron spawning in just a couple minutes. We'll see if it goes to that. Neither team breaking the walls of the base quite yet. Couple outer turrets with one outer turret, or I should say inner turret, but towers outside the base. for each of these teams respectively. It's a relatively close game here, guys. It's about 9k in favor of TSG here. Nice spear lands on, taking almost the entire health bar of that LeBlanc. Her passive has been popped. She does have both of her summoning spells available. Will she recall? Nice W there from the Kazakhs to pop a couple spell shields. A lot of aggression coming out here from Purple Team. There's so much of a front line, guys. So much of a front line for Purple Team. It's daunting for an assassin like LeBlanc to think, how am I supposed to burst any of these guys? Even the carry, the damage carry of this Kha'Zix here has a Banshee's Veil, has Merc Dreads, has a Randuin's Omen, for God's sakes. Like, how do you delete somebody like that? Is it even possible? 3 Banshee's Veils, and almost a 4th completed for that Jinx as well. Almost 4 Banshee's Veils for this Purple Team here. TSG making sure that nobody can get deleted out. 3 Banshee's Veils on... It's just like League of Banshees, guys. Alright, now the aggression has turned. We've got blue team aggressing on the middle lane inhibitor turret. Jinx clearing out that bottom lane, getting it, pushing in their favor. Renekton clearing out that top lane. Here we go. A little bit of it. There's not a lot of a siege available. It's definitely a dive comp with the Shyvana and the Wukong, but not a lot of siege available with the relatively short auto attack range of that Twitch. He'd have to pop his ultimate to really get a lot of damage down. I've seen crazier things. I've actually seen some LCS teams use the ultimate of Twitch to get damage down onto inhibitor turrets if they really need that. Looks like a little bit of harass lands onto that Twitch. Takes a little bit of damage. Summoner Heal not quite available yet. And as that teleport comes off cooldown, Renekton will have his summoner spells available. Just flash a couple more seconds as well, and that'll mean all summoner spells available for all champions, all ultimates. Again, that last 50-minute team fight here, guys, with everything available for most teams. It just comes down to outplay and gold. As Morgana takes a spear to the face, she's down to about half HP. Nidalee still with a blue buff, with more and more spears available. Shyvana kind of gets caught out a little bit. She gets a 5-man Dragon's Descent all the way onto that backline. She's on top of that Jinx. Will Jinx fall? No, not quite yet, as the Ethereal Chains flashed away, but the execute damage from Twitch's expunged. TSG Shaco still taking damage. The Thornmill not enough to tank up all of that damage. Spear lands onto to Twitch as he goes down. The GA popped, comes back up for TSG Shaco. Shaco falls. By Shaco, I mean the Renekton. Eclipse, or Solar Flare landing on just one, slowing up others. Not slowing up others. We got a 4-man push here as LeBlanc will recall, but only 2 members available and not a lot in their kits available to keep things safe. That's going to be an inhibitor following. Will there be more? With still 30 seconds remaining on 2 of the carries. Wow, nice spear coming out there. Just deleting Morgana. Look at that, 60 seconds, sorry, a full minute death timer on that Morgana. Even though an inhibitor's fallen, that might actually give it a little bit of a, you know, you have like a 30-second window when it's still going to be a 5v4. Why did you not stop that base? I'm not sure. An interesting choice to not actually cancel the recall. Baron has respawned, guys. A minute and a half on that dragon. Now it's down to about a 6.5 gold lead, 6.5k gold lead in favor of Purple Team. Their tank line's getting deleted, I suppose, by the Infinity Edge Blade of the Ruined King. There's not too much attack speed on that Twitch, so it'll be interesting what he chooses to... I would actually... This would be one of those games where if I was on Twitch's team, I'd be like, hey, buddy, you might actually want to think about a Zephyr in place of your boots. Our base is intact. We got a pause coming out here, guys. I'm not sure what it's for. Haven't heard a disconnect yet, but it might be some lag. Again, apologize for this pause. Just hopefully it won't take too long. We're 51 minutes into this game on the Summoner's Rift, guys. This is the 3rd place matchup for NotSoStockGaming's Platinum Tournament of League of Legends. Kha'Zix incredibly fed with just a couple, maybe three damage items if you want to count the jungle item. I probably would. So 3 damage items, a couple defensive Merc Treads across a couple champions here on purple team. We've got 6-item builds for most of these guys as the pause ends finally here. Again, 51 minutes in, Baron's available, but an inhibitor has been taken in favor of blue team here. Ping's coming out on that Baron. LeBlanc finds the Kha'Zix. He pops his ultimate to stay safe and his Oracle to make sure he doesn't actually get caught by anybody. That was close, but DFG was used by LeBlanc. So actually it's kind of almost favorable, just DFG for a Banshee's Veil that could come off cooldown much sooner. Nice little bit of a image posted in chat there. Seems like because we're 52 minutes into a game, some people were like, hold on, pause it for a second. I gotta use the John. Wow, we had a recall there from the Jinx. She's not even close to the Baron pit. Blue team could start it up here. It could be pretty close. Banshee's Veil popped by that Dark Binding. Banshee's Veil popped by Sigil of Silence. Kha'Zix in the top lane, so it's a 5v4 as far as what's right here. Renekton does have teleport. They might want to think about sending him bottom lane, as there is quite a push from minions down there. Teleport is available by Shyvana as well. They might think about her splitting. Maybe not. Nice spear lands onto Morgana. She's down to about 60%, 70% HP. Such a close game, guys. 53 minutes in. It doesn't matter that there's so much of a gold lead, as most people are already 6 items. So gold on top of 6 items doesn't really mean anything other than consumables, which most people don't have the luxury of basing for. Super minions are knocking on the base here. Just the one. And minions taking down this bottom lane turret as well. Recall's coming out. Looks like this Baron's gonna be started up here by that Wukong. There we go. The Banshee's Veils are gonna fall because they're in this pit. But look at that. Baron getting deleted here. Already down to half HP, even though it's been only a couple seconds. Okay, blue team pulls off here. Wukong gets inside the middle of the team, pops up 3. There's Dragon's Descent on there as Wukong finally does fall, but Leona gets the kill, gets killed off in the backline, keeping people away from his carries. That's a 1 for 2 in favor of TSG here. The inhibitor respawning soon for TSG. Uh-oh. DFG is available and she's in vision. Will she get deleted here? Ethereal Chains doesn't land. Oh, so close here. Alright, let's see if LeBlanc can steal the Baron on top of this Kha'Zix here. Kha'Zix does have smite, but what happened last time? Alright, finally does smite it for the secure. Man, that last Baron steal. Game should have ended before. Alright, still 30 seconds or more when the death timers for the champions that are missing for blue team here. 29 to 23, 88k to 79k. 9k gold lead plus 9k gold lead, but blue team has turrets and got the first inhib. We'll see what happens here. Alright, here's that second pause that was given us a heads up earlier in that chat. There's another bathroom break for some of these teams. 54.5 minutes on Summoner's Rift, guys. And it looks like we'll see who the victors are in just a few minutes, though. Can't be much longer with these kinds of... with the game going this long, the death timer is increasingly long. About, at this point, I think it's about 75 to 80 seconds that you're going to be sitting in that death chamber. You're going to have a gray screen for over almost a minute and a half as your team has to go without you. So, it doesn't matter who's ahead in gold. If you get caught out, it's kind of the game. Again, Leona spawning in 12 seconds. 20 seconds or less for each of the champions on blue side. An open inhibitor versus a Baroned up team. It'll be interesting to see how things play out here. There's a lot more poke available from the Nidalee versus, say, like, there's not really much poke. coming out from blue team here. Relatively close game, guys. Even though there's like a substantial 9k gold lead for purple team, and they do have Baron, we've seen team fights sway in either team's favor already. We saw a Baron steal by a LeBlanc. I mean, if anything can happen, anything can happen. Alright, play does resume in just a few seconds here. We are almost 55 minutes into this game, guys. Jinx going to clear out that bottom lane. Really close match. Upgraded sweeper with the Oracle lens. 4 upgraded sweepers on purple team's side here. Looks like they really want to make sure they catch the invisible champions as they join. Oh boy. Alright, the Banshee's Veil. There's no Banshee's Veil on 2 of the 5 members, but 4 Banshee's Veils on purple side. Nobody wanting to get deleted by anything. Nice dodge out there of the zap by that Wukong. Kha'Zix in the top lane with no teleport. We haven't seen a lot of teleport usage by these teams, probably for good reason. Like, you can only split push for so long before your team will need you 100%. GA is back up on that Renekton, off cooldown, and his Banshee's Veil is coming back in just a moment. Full tank Renekton, though. Full tank. He needs to soak up as much damage as possible to be actually useful to his team, because there's not a lot of damage in his kit this late in the game to delete anybody, especially through the lifesteal between a Blade of the Ruined King and a Bloodthirster fully stacked for that Twitch. So I don't think he could even 1v1 that Twitch, even with the Thorn Mail that he has. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think having... like, he's got 3 armor items, but there's a last Whisper on that Twitch, and really Twitch the only real damage threat, because Wukong is not going to be diving a Renekton. He's going to be going right past the Renekton. Renekton should probably have replaced Sunfire Cape, Thorn Mail, or Randuin's. One of those 3 items he probably should have replaced with something. Hydra, for instance. Need a little bit more sustain and a little bit of damage so he can actually apply a damage threat to the backline that he'll be diving. But at this point, he's just going to get CC'd, stunned up, held in place so that Twitch can basically drain tank him to keep himself healthy, as well as get a free kill and delete the tank. Whereas Wukong and Shyvana are going to keep diving that backline. Like, the best option for this Renekton is probably just to, if he's going to be this full tank Renekton, he needs to be back right on top of Jinx, keeping her safe, healthy, and peeled for, because he can tank up as much damage as he's going to take for free if he does that. Like, it's kind of a rough thing here, because, I mean, look at Shyvana. She's got Sunfire, which I suppose you could say is a damage item, but she's got that Blade of the Ruined King instead of Thorn Mail. It keeps her relevant in terms of damage. So, we had another pause, we're out of it now. There isn't a blue buff on this Nidalee, so each of her spears are costing her. Alright, a 5-man stack here in that mid lane. Nice spear lands onto Morgana. As Shyvana comes around the side, she gets Dragon Descent onto Nidalee and Jinx. Really close here. The Wukong ultimate on top of her. TSG Chaos trying to tank up as much as he can. Nice peel there. There we go. See, the Renekton was diving that backline, but there was enough peel between the rest of the 4 members of Purple Team here. A little bit of an ethereal chains, gets stunned up onto that. Kha'Zix deletes Morgana as 1 spear will finish off that LeBlanc. Only Twitch remaining, but Jinx was removed. I'm pretty sure that's going to be game, guys, as you won't need Jinx to take down these turrets if you've got 4 people. I guess the Renekton was a little too much to handle, as we had only Morgana there to peel for the Twitch. So there's going to be the first inhibitor turret falling for TSG, in favor of TSG. Oh wow, the stun goes down. Solar Flare came off cooldown just in time to get the ace. Jinx, Twitch goes down. 73-second death timers. There's the surrender vote, guys. And that's going to be third place win for TSG here. Congratulations to them. What a grind of a duel, guys. 58 minutes in with a total of 58 kills. What a game. A kill per minute for 58 minutes. Almost an hour-long game with pauses for bathroom breaks. Like, I don't blame them. What a game. Congratulations for TSG. They are third place finish for NotSoStockGaming's NotSoStockGaming's Platinum Tournament here. Again, thanks so much for joining us, guys. We've had a blast thus far. It's been way fun having you join us. I've had such a great time, shoutcasting for you guys, streaming for you guys. On behalf of NotSoStockGaming, I am Impossible. I'd love to thank you for joining us. Hit that follow button on this stream. Follow me on my stream. We'd love to have you join us throughout the week. Again, we have a tournament for each tier: Bronze, Platinum, Gold, Silver, Diamond, and even in any tier Friday evenings on that weekend, just to have a lot of fun. Thanks, Tizwill, for your compliment. I love casting for you guys. I appreciate the compliments. Again, feedback always. If there's a way I can improve for you guys, if there's a way us as NotSoStock can improve our tournaments for you guys, we'd love for your feedback. Go ahead and give that either in Twitch chat, Facebook message us. Check out our website, NotSoStock.ca. We have a couple resources there. If you guys want to up your game, there's a coaching, high elo coaching available. I am one of those coaches. I am Diamond myself, and I am available at the time. I am available as one of those high elo coaches if you want to sign up on our website. And then there's also that Team Finder feature on our website. Go ahead and sign up on there if you're looking for a team and you want to get involved in these tournaments. There's RP to be won. There's the Triumphant Rise skin available for the winning team of each of our separate tier tournaments. And also mark your calendars for this weekend, guys. We're going to have on Saturday a ARAM for Autism event that we'd love to have you join for. Unfortunately, I will be busy that weekend and not be able to cast it for you, but we'd love to have you participate. Check your calendars. Again, thanks so much for joining us on this stream, guys. I have a blast. I hope you guys had a blast. Thanks so much for joining us. Hit that follow button so you'll see us tomorrow. We're trying to put together a few more teams for that Diamond tournament because we need a minimum number of teams to join us. So if you have a Diamond team and you have not signed up, please, please, please sign up on our website. Contact one of our admins through Facebook, through the Twitch chat, something. We need a few more teams to make sure that tomorrow's tournament does happen for the Diamond tier. We might even consider bringing in some of the Platinum teams from today. If you would love to join us, again, sign up on that website. If you have friends that you know are Diamond and they have a team, tell them, hey, if you want to win some free RP, if you're really that good, come and play in our tournament. Win some RP, win Triumphant Rise. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. It's been a blast. We had some great games. We had some requests in the Twitch chat for just like some viewer games. I'll go ahead and do those on my stream. If you want to head over, twitch.tv/theimpossible. I'll go ahead and do a few viewer streams on viewer games, some ARAMs on my stream. If you want to go ahead and join me, add me on this account, the Impossible. There's no the in front of it as far as League of Legends goes. Go ahead and join me, add me. I'll accept. I have no qualms. We'll go ahead and do some viewer games, some ARAMs on my stream. I'll meet you there, guys. Again, thanks so much for joining us. On behalf of NotSoStockGaming, I am Impossible. Have a great night.